What shifts? No? Is that her? Is that your grandma over there? Is that your grandma? Is it? Come on up. I'll bring her up. I'm sure she's real happy that you're here, right?
Yes.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Is this your granddaughter?
Yes, sir, it is.
Does she live with you?
Yes, she does.
Were you aware why she's here in court today?
That night that this happened, I went to bed about 11 o'clock at night and I was not aware that she had even left the house.
Okay, so you did not know this happened until, I guess, she didn't come home?
Well, in the morning, I got up at 5 o'clock to go to work. I went to work and then
And you didn't notice that she wasn't there?
I knew that she wasn't there, but
Okay.
I figured that one of her friends had maybe come picked her up. She went to go spend, she does that sometimes.
Okay,
So I didn't think anything wrong until I came home. And she called me from the police station.
Pasadena?
Yes.
Was she taken to Harris County downtown?
Yes, sir. She was the same way.
All right, and that's when she was released, right? She was released from Harris County.
Right. They released her on a PR bond.
All right, yeah, I saw that. All right, I'm sure you're not very happy with your granddaughter, right?
No, I'm not. I'm very upset. I'm very scared for her. You know, and she is a good child. She was working and she
7505, so I'm assuming it's not too
it's the
far.
same zip code.
Okay, so it's not too far from where you live.
Mhm.
All right, and I do see that she was arrested back in 2023
Mhm.
for unauthorized use of a motor vehicle. Were you
Yeah.
aware of that?
I did, yeah, I was aware of that. She was
Got
with her mother.
dismissed, but she was arrested and charged with that offense.
Mhm.
All right, what I want to do, I'm going to give her some conditions of bond. The conditions of bond that I'm going to give her is that she's prohibited from having any firearms or any weapons. She's prohibited from drinking any alcohol or any controlled substance because of her age. She's 19 years old, and I want to give her a curfew. You think that's a good idea?
Yes, sir.
All right. Ms. Garcia, should we do a curfew with a monitor?
Yeah, that's it, up to you.
I want to do a
If
monitor.
You want, Bertrand to be able to supervise.
I do.
every day.
I want a monitor.
Yes, sir.
So Ms. Campos, you're going to get an ankle monitor on your ankle. And we're going to track exactly where you are 24/7. Now, what is your work schedule?
My work
The
schedule.
shift, it's different.
Right, right now I'm working I work at 3 today till 11, but
Okay, till
usually I work 12-hour shifts from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m.
And who else lives in your household besides you and your
My
granddaughter?
other granddaughter,
Is she an adult?
no, she's younger than her. She's like age 17.
Is she in school?
No, she's done in school.
Okay, what is she doing?
She's just at home. Mhm.
And so it's just you three,
Yes,
and you're supporting both of them?
yes.
All right. I want to give her a curfew beginning at 6. You think that's too late? You want me to do earlier?
No, I just want to know if she does get a job, where there'll be somebody I can call to let them
Yes.
know.
Yes, ma'am.
Because she is looking for a job right now.
Be able to switch it if she does get a job and she has to work past 6. I want to do a 6 p.m. curfew.
Okay.
And I want to, what time you say you go to work at 7?
So, yes, so I leave the house like a little bit before 6 or 6 o'clock, or
Okay.
6 a.m.
All right. And what time in the morning should I stop the curfew? You tell me. You know your granddaughter better than I do.
Well, she's home most of the day, right? Like I said, right now she's not working. So she hasn't really been going anywhere since this incident occurred.
All right, I'm gonna do 7 a.m. Now, I don't want her a curfew during the day because I want her to go look for either work or school. One or two. Does she have a license? Do you know?
She does not have a license. She does have an ID.
Okay, does she
Her
have
mother.
does she have a car that she can get around? Or
She
no?
doesn't have a car. She lost her car a couple months ago because she lost her job.
And how does she get around? Yet
I'm the one that gives her rides to where she needs to go.
okay, all right.
But fortunately, we do live in an area where there is plenty of places where she can like a block walking distance where she can go find a job. So,
You know, Ms. Campos, I don't like doing these things. I don't necessarily like putting an ankle monitor on your ankle and trying to make sure we know where you are at all times. I don't like doing that. I'm sure your grandma didn't like that, right? You don't necessarily, okay. But she left at night in the morning. This happened at 3:30 in the morning. And what would have happened if something happened to her?
That's exactly what I say, you know, I'm asleep thinking that she's asleep in her room and something could have happened to her. Somebody could have snatched her, somebody could have killed her, you know, and I have no idea where she's at.
No, no, I agree with you. All right. If she does get a job or whatever, we need to change the hours, I don't mind. All right, so Ms. Garcia, it'll be 6 p.m. to 7 a.m. Let's do an ankle monitor. Let's waive all the fees. And hopefully, we know we'll be able to take care of this. Now, since you're not working, Ms. Campos, I'm going to appoint you a lawyer, unless you want to hire your own, but I don't think you should be able to pay for your lawyer,
Right,
for
it's
your
gonna be
grandma.
very hard, especially with me having to take care of all.
I know. You shouldn't even have to pay for anything on your granddaughter. She needs to pay for her own things. So I'm going to appoint her a lawyer this morning. Okay. All right, Ms. Campos, do you have any questions on anything that I've mentioned? Anything?
I don't know.
How about you, Grandma? Do you have any questions?
No, just about the, if she does get a job,
Yes, ma'am.
it would be able to be changed.
Yeah, that's not a problem. I'm going to appoint a lawyer this morning. There'll be a lawyer that's going to meet with you and your granddaughter. You can get all the information. Now, you're going to meet with my pretrial officer who's right behind you at the table, sitting right there, okay? She's going to go over with you all your conditions. You're also going to go today, after you finish talking to your lawyer and you're finished with court, you're going to go to pretrial services, which is 1 block next door. There, they're going to go ahead and give you information as who to contact in case you need to change something, and we're going to put that monitor on you, okay? And I do have to tell you this, Ms. Campos, if you violate any of the conditions of this bond, I can revoke your bond and put you in custody in jail. And I'll keep you there until this case is over with. And I know for sure we know exactly where you're at, and we know you're not going to be doing anything that you're not supposed to be doing. I don't want you to do that. I don't want that to happen. So, Ms. Campos, don't do anything that will cause me to revoke your bond, okay? All right, because if I hear that you're not complying, I'm going to bring you back to court. And trust me, Ms. Campos, you do not want to deal with me. You may be able to deal with your grandma. Okay, maybe she'll cut you a little bit of slack, but I'm not going to. You understand? And the other thing I'll also want you to do, I'll ask you a favor too. If she is not doing everything that you want her to do, if she's not obeying, if she's misbehaving or whatever, I want you to report her. You're going to get a information as to who her officer is by email. I know it's hard. You probably don't want to do that. But if she's not doing what she's supposed to be doing as far as your household is concerning, I'll deal with her. Okay, so I want you to report her. Okay, do you understand that, Ms. Campos? I'm asking your grandma to report you if you're not doing everything you're supposed to be doing. Do you understand? Any questions? Any questions, ma'am? All right, right behind you is the pretrial officer at the table. Go with her, sign those conditions, go with her, and have a seat. Millie, page 4, Campos, court point.
You should have your employees.
Okay. I have another PC, Ms. Anthony. Oh, yes. Oh, let me see who. Thank you. Let's see who I have. Morning, how are you? Let's see who. What's that? Yeah, but he's got a lawyer. I can't talk to him. He's got a lawyer. Oh, yeah. Richard Villarreal Fuentes is on page 20. And Miss Anthony, this is Villarreal Fuentes.
Yes, Judge.
The PC.
I have made an appointment, you're gonna go over once you're done, your attorney and everything.
Yo le voy a traducir todo al español, que conteste todo, que me necesite yo, no sé.
I will give you the instructions.
Señor Fuentes, su nombre es.
All right, Mr. Fuentes, you do not have a lawyer today, is that right?
Abogado presente ahora, ¿verdad? No.
All right, Mr. Fuentes, I just wanted to inform you that there has not been a judge that has heard probable cause on your case yet. So I'm going to ask the Assistant District Attorney to read to me the facts surrounding why you were arrested and charged with this offense. When she's reading the facts of your case, I don't want you to say anything. I just want you to listen. After I hear the facts of your case, the court is going to determine whether there exists enough probable cause to continue with your case. If the court does find probable cause, then what we're going to do is we're going to talk about what you're being charged with. We're going to talk about any conditions of bond the court may impose, and then we're going to talk about an attorney. All right, Ms. Anthony, whenever you're ready, may proceed.
Yes, Judge. On 5/4/2025, officer conducted traffic stop on defendant for unsafe lane change and failing to signal.
Usted estaba, ¿cómo se llama? Que estaba viendo las señales de su carro.
When lights were activated, defendant had an opportunity to pull into parking lot.
Usted se metió, ¿cómo se llama? Un parking lot.
Defendant also had opportunity to stop at the next avenue, but did not. Backup units instructed defendant to stop. Defendant stated he did not stop because he did not want to get hurt. Defendant eluded for approximately 0.3 miles.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Defendant eluded for approximately 0.3 miles.
¿Cómo millas usted evadió, cómo se llama, pararse? Okay.
All right, Mr. Fuentes, the court's going to find that there is sufficient probable cause to continue with your case. You are being charged with the offense of fleeing from a police officer. That is a Class B misdemeanor, which means that you can get up to 6 months in the county jail and up to a $2,000 fine. So what we're going to do this morning is the court's going to order some conditions regarding your bond. So, Ms. Garcia, this is on page 20, Fuentes, Villarreal Fuentes. So, Mr. Fuentes, the court's going to order that while you're on bond, you will be prohibited from possessing any firearms or any weapons. While you're on bond, you're 20 years old, is that right, by the way? You're 20? Okay. Because of your age, the court's going to order that you do not drink any alcohol or any controlled substance that you do not have a prescription for. These conditions of bond are going to remain until this case is over with. I'm going to ask you to sign these conditions of bond. You will be given a copy of these conditions. If you violate any of the conditions of this bond, you're subject to having the bond that you're currently on revoked, and you can be taken into custody. Now, Mr. Fuentes, you're going to need an attorney to represent you on this case. Are you working right now, sir?
Estoy trabajando actualmente ahora. Yes.
What type of work do you do?
¿Qué trabajo haces? Ah, ¿qué clase de trabajo haces? ¿De qué estás trabajando? Tornero. Ahí se.
I don't know. What is that?
Oh, machine operator.
Oh, how long have you been doing that?
¿Cuánto tiempo está haciendo eso? 7 months.
You work for a company?
¿Tú estás trabajando por una compañía? Yes.
Okay. You get paid by the hour?
¿Te pagan por hora? Yes.
How much do you make per hour?
¿Cuánto haces por horas? 17.
Okay. Because you have steady employment, Mr. Fuentes, the court is going to require you to hire your own attorney. We're going to reschedule your case to allow you time to hire your own attorney. If you do hire an attorney, have that attorney contact this court before the next court date, you, sir, do not have to come back to court as long as you have an attorney representing you. However, if you do not have an attorney representing you by the next court date, you will have to return to court. All right, sir. Do you have any questions on anything that I mentioned to you? Right behind you at the tables, my pretrial officer, go with her, sign those conditions and have a seat. Okay, we have some more, but they have lawyers, so I have to wait for their lawyers. Okay, we'll let you know. Thank you. Millie, page 20, Villarreal Fuentes, THA. Okay, let's see who's next. All right, I have another PC, Miss Anthony. Last name is Taylor. First name is Caroline. Caroline Taylor, coming up, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Tenemos a ver cuando ella sigue en este listado. Una vez más.
Caroline Taylor. Miss Taylor, you don't have a lawyer today, right?
No.
All right, Miss Taylor, I just wanted to inform you that there has not been a judge that has heard probable cause on your case yet. So I'm going to ask the Assistant District Attorney to read to me the facts surrounding why you were arrested and charged with this offense. When she's reading the facts of your case, I don't want you to say anything. I just want you to listen. After I hear the facts of your case, the court is going to determine whether there exists enough probable cause to continue with your case. If the court does find probable cause, then what we're going to do is we're going to talk about what you're being charged with. We're going to talk about any conditions of bond the court may impose, and then we're going to talk about an attorney. All right, Ms. Anthony, whenever you're ready, may proceed.
On 5/4/2025, officer was dispatched to a person down call in a parking lot in Harris County, Texas. HFD firefighters advised that defendant was asleep in the driver's seat. Defendant had slurred speech and poor balance. Defendant stated she was coming from a bar and had one margarita. She stated she took Xanax earlier in the day. Surveillance showed defendant driving vehicle into the parking lot from the roadway. HGN 6 out of 6, walk and turn 6 out of 8, one leg stand 3 out of 4. DIC was read, breath was refused, and a blood warrant was signed.
All right, Ms. Taylor, the court is going to find that there is sufficient probable cause to continue with your case. You are being charged with the offense of driving while intoxicated. That is a Class B misdemeanor, which means that you can get up to 6 months in the county jail and up to a $2,000 fine. It also means that if you had a valid Texas driver's license at the time of your arrest, DPS may suspend your license as a result of this arrest. So what we're going to do this morning is, of course, going to order some conditions regarding your bond. So, Ms. Garcia, this is on page 16, Taylor. So, Ms. Taylor, the court is going to order that while you're on bond, you will be prohibited from possessing any firearms or any weapons. While you're on bond, you will also be prohibited from drinking any alcohol or any controlled substance that you do not have a prescription for. No illegal drugs. These conditions of bond are going to remain until this case is over with. I'm going to ask you to sign these conditions of bond. You will be given a copy of these conditions. If you violate any of the conditions of this bond, you're subject to having the bond that you're currently on revoked, and you can be taken to custody. Now, Ms. Taylor, you're going to need an attorney to represent you on this case. Are you working right now, ma'am?
No.
Okay, there's two options regarding a lawyer. I can reschedule your case to allow you time to hire an attorney of your own choice, or would you like the court to appoint you an attorney this morning?
I'll hire one.
All right, we're going to reschedule your case, then, to allow you time to hire an attorney. Now, Ms. Taylor, if you do hire a lawyer, have that attorney contact this court before your next court date. You do not have to come back to court as long as you have an attorney representing you. However, if you do not have an attorney representing you on the next court date, you will have to return to court. All right. Do you have any questions on anything I mentioned to you?
No, but I do have a question about the interlock system or
Well, I don't see that you're,
set it on my bond.
And
Yeah.
state would request an interlock. It looks like she's on bond for a DWI out of Louisiana.
oh, really?
Yes, Your Honor.
What do you have as far as disposition on anything
I have an arrest date as of April 26th, so
for
recent.
this year?
Yes, Judge.
I hired a lawyer for that one.
No worries, no worries. Okay, all right, Ms. Taylor, then we are gonna do an interlock. Do you have plans of driving a motor vehicle after today? All right, no worries. You can drive as long as you have a valid Texas driver's license. All right, so Ms. Garcia,
Yes,
let's
sir.
go ahead and order an interlock. Let me see, this was HPD. When you were detained, arrested, did they confiscate your license?
In Louisiana, not here.
Okay, when you got arrested here and when you bonded out, did they give you any documentation regarding your license?
No,
They
just
didn't
said
give you
don't
anything?
operate a motorized vehicle that doesn't have an interlock in it.
All right, so what we're gonna do is we are gonna order an interlock device. We're gonna give you 7 days from today to get that device. I don't know if you made arrangements to try to locate one or not.
Well, I do know where it is.
Okay.
I know how to get one.
Okay.
But what about the cost?
No,
'Cause I do-
we're gonna pay for it.
Okay.
So it's agency paid, and waive the monitoring fees.
Thank you very much.
You're
I
welcome.
have 2 kids under 2.
No worries. Now, I am going to also order random urine test. Okay, so UAs, Ms. Garcia, and waive the fees. These urine tests are totally random. You're going to be given instructions about these tests. They're going to be contacting you by text every day to determine whether you need to come and do a urine test. Whenever you get your text, you need to respond to that text. Even if it says don't come, you still need to respond, okay? You're going to be given all of these instructions today. After court, you're going to be required to go next door at 49 Senior Centers, right next door. My pretrial officer in the courtroom is going to give you instructions. There, they're going to give you instructions about the interlock. They're going to give you a list of providers, because since we're paying for it, you have to contact one of those individuals or those providers from that list. You have 7 days from today to take your vehicle and have that machine installed, okay? You need to blow on that machine every time you drive your vehicle. Is there any other individuals that you have that are going to be driving that vehicle too, that you're aware of?
A lot of people drive
All
my
right.
car.
I do need to let you know that anybody that drives that car is required to blow on that machine.
None of them drink.
All right, I was going to say, if they have any alcohol in their system, you're the one that's going to get in trouble.
Yes, my mom, she has been sober for 8 years.
Right, no worries. I just want to give you that caution, okay? Just make sure that whoever drives your vehicle, tell them, hey, no, because you'll get in trouble. You're the one that's going to get in trouble
Yeah.
if there's alcohol in that machine. All right, so don't worry, Ms. Taylor. All the fees will be paid by the county. The urine test fees will be paid by the county. You do not have to do anything except go get the interlock machine and make sure you drive with that machine on there, okay? And then we will reschedule your case to allow you time to hire a lawyer. Like I mentioned, if you do hire a lawyer, you do not have to come back to court. But if you don't have a lawyer by the next court date, you will have to return. All right, man. Any other questions? All right. Right behind you is my preacher. Also go with her. Sounds conditions. Have a seat. We'll reset your case. Millie? Page 16, Taylor, THA. All right, let's see here. All right, I have another PC. Miss Anthony, last name is DeBerry, DABIRE. Lagoo, DeBerry. Coming up, sir. All right, sir. How do you pronounce your last name? DeBee? Okay, Mr. DeBee, you do not have a lawyer today, right? All right, Mr. DeBee, I just wanted to inform you that there has not been a judge that has heard probable cause on your case yet. So I'm going to ask the assistant district attorney to read to me the facts surrounding why you were arrested and charged with this offense. When she's reading the facts of your case, I don't want you to say anything. I just want you to listen. After I hear the facts of your case, the court is going to determine whether there exists enough probable cause to continue with your case. If the court does find probable cause, then what we're going to do is we're going to talk about what you're being charged with. We're going to talk about any conditions of bond the court may impose, and then we're going to talk about an attorney. All right, Miss Anthony, whenever you're ready, may proceed.
Yes, Judge. On 5/4/2025, officer was dispatched to a motorcycle shop in Harris County, Texas for theft. Complainant advised defendant rented a vehicle and was supposed to return that day. Defendant refused to give fob to complainant. Officer attempted to detain defendant who actively resisted. Officer told defendant to put hands behind his back, and defendant tensed arm and body and tried to pull away. Officer and defendant then engaged in a tussle, and eventually defendant was detained.
And why was Mr. DeBear being detained?
It was a theft. Complainant advised defendant rented a vehicle from the shop and was supposed to return it, but then refused to give the key fob to complainant.
I see. All right, sir. The court's going to find that there is sufficient probable cause to continue with your case. You are being charged with the offense of resisting arrest. That is a misdemeanor, which means that you can get up to 1 year in the county jail and up to a $4,000 fine. So what we're going to do is we're going to order some conditions regarding your bond. So Ms. Garcia, this is on page 4, like good, okay. All right, so the court's going to order that while you're on bond, you will be prohibited from possessing any firearms or any weapons. This condition of bond, sir, is going to remain until this case is over with. I'm going to ask you to sign this condition of bond. You will be given a copy of this condition. If you violate any of the condition of this bond, you're subject to having the bond that you're currently on revoked, and you can be taken into custody. Now, you are going to need an attorney to represent you on this case. Are you working right now, sir?
No, sir.
All right, there's two
Yes.
options. Hang on. There's two options regarding a lawyer. I can reschedule your case to allow you time to hire your own attorney, or would you like the court to appoint you an attorney this morning?
May I say something?
Not about the case. You can say something, but do not talk about the case. I have a prosecutor here listening to everything that you're saying. I do not want you to say anything that can be used against you, okay? So you have a constitutional right, Fifth Amendment of the United States Constitution, to remain silent. I would prefer you remain silent, okay?
I don't need a lawyer.
Yes, you do need a lawyer, sir. You need a lawyer because this is an offense that you can go to jail for 1 year.
I didn't really call.
You need a lawyer.
Oh.
Now, if you want a lawyer, I will appoint you a lawyer. There'll be a lawyer that's going to meet with you today, and you do not have to pay for this lawyer.
Okay.
Okay? Is that all right?
That's all right.
All right, so I'll appoint you a lawyer. No worries. All right, sir. Right behind you at the table is my pretrial officer. Go with her, sign those conditions, have a seat. You're going to meet with the lawyer today, okay? Thank you. Millie, page 4, Lagu, the bear, court appoint. All right. Okay, you ready, Miss Anthony's next one?
Yes.
The next one that I have for PC is last name is Esparza. First name is Marisa. Marisa Esparza?
You're gonna help us first. Yes, take it. Yes,
All right. Good morning. You are Marisa Esparza?
Yes.
All right, Ms. Esparza, you don't have a lawyer today, right? All right, Ms. Esparza, I just wanted to inform you that there has not been a judge that has heard probable cause on your case yet. So I'm going to ask the Assistant District Attorney to read to me the facts surrounding why you were arrested and charged with this offense. When she's reading the facts of your case, I don't want you to say anything. I just want you to listen. After I hear the facts of your case, the court is going to determine whether there exists enough probable cause to continue with your case. If the court does find probable cause, then what we're going to do is we're going to talk about what you are being charged with. We're going to talk about any conditions of bond that the court may impose, and then we're going to talk about an attorney. All right, Ms. Anthony, whenever you're ready, may proceed.
Yes, Judge. On 5/4/2025, officers dispatched to a disturbance at a bar in Harris County, Texas. Owners of bar told defendant to leave. Officer escorted defendant outside for public intoxication investigation. Defendant refused to ID herself. Officer needed defendant's name and date of birth to book defendant into sobriety center. Officer attempted multiple times to retrieve info and was denied every time.
So she was going to be arrested for public intoxication or taken over to the intox room, or HPD has like an intox center. Is that what the report says?
Yes.
But they needed her information in order to do that, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right, Mrs. Sparser, the court's going to find that there is sufficient probable cause to continue with your case. You are being charged with the offense of interference with the duties of a public servant. That's a Class B misdemeanor, which means that you can get up to 6 months in the county jail and up to a $2,000 fine. So what we're going to do this morning is the court's going to order some conditions regarding your bond. So, Mrs. Sparsa, the court's going to order, and Ms. Garcia, this is on page 5, Esparza. The court's going to order that while you're on bond, you will be prohibited from possessing any firearms or any weapons. This condition of bond is going to remain until this case is over with. I'm going to ask you to sign this condition of bond. You will be given a copy of this condition. If you violate any of this condition of bond, you're subject to having the bond that you're currently on revoked, and you can be taken to custody. Now, Mrs. Sparsa, you're going to need an attorney to represent you on this case. Are you working right now, ma'am? All right, there's two options regarding a lawyer. I can reschedule your case to allow you time to hire an attorney of your own choice, or would you like the court to appoint you one this morning? I'll appoint you an attorney this morning. All right, Mrs. Sparsa, do you have any questions on anything that I mentioned to you? All right, right behind you the table, my preacher also go with her. Sans conditions, have a seat, I'll appoint your lawyer. Millie, page 5, Marisa Esparza, court appoint. Miss Martin, can you hear me, Miss Martin?
Yes, I can hear you. Good morning.
Good
Your
morning,
Honor.
how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. What you got this morning?
It looks like Miss Harris went back into custody. I'm not sure if she was actually on today's docket,
Oh,
but
you know
she had
what?
a bond.
Yes, I do see that your client was taken into custody. Give me
On the
one second.
9th.
I know, let me see. See who that was. Who is it that you're, do you remember who it is?
Yes, Andrea Harris, Your Honor.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, I
So
got
she was
right
on-
here.
She was scheduled for tomorrow, but on this BVR, you
Well-
said you wanted it addressed today, so I wasn't
I
sure.
don't know. I don't know if you're aware, she picked up another charge.
Yes. I think
Yeah,
two
that
more
charge
charges.
that she picked up, you're not on. You
Okay.
are on her, you are on her other case, the DWI.
Right.
So I'm looking at her case right now. I do see that she's on bond for driving while intoxicated. It's a case that you represent her on. She was given bond conditions back in July of last year. And then she violated her conditions of bond. I do see that you had filed for a competency evaluation. Do you know if she ever went to her competency appointment?
She did not. She missed it. And so now that she's in custody, I can email Miss Helena to have her get it done.
Well, now that she's in custody, we could probably get her psyched pretty quickly. Do you think that she still needs it?
I believe so.
You haven't spoken to her this morning, have you?
No, I haven't. Like I said, she went in custody on the 9th, and
No, I know. And you don't have, there's no plans of you coming to court this morning, right?
correct.
I can give you the number to the holdover. Let me Inslee, definitely. Andrea Harris, is she here physically? She is, okay. I can give you the number, Miss Martin, to the holdover cell in the back. If you
Okay.
want to give her a call, because since you're appointed on her case, you're going to be appointed on her new one.
Okay.
So give me 1 second. Let me pull that up. If you look at your chat, I'm going to send you the holdover number where you can give her a call in the back and speak to her. If you believe that she needs an evaluation, I just need for you to file it, and we'll make sure we get her evaluated.
Okay, just file
And I
a new
don't-
one.
Yeah, you got to file a new one, and put both cases on there.
Okay,
I don't,
got it.
know if you have the, I don't know if you have the cause number to her assault case or not.
I believe I do.
All right.
They
so
sent, the appointment came through this morning.
Okay. Oh, you got that? Andrea Harris on page 26. Ms. Martin needs to be appointed on that case because she represents her on a DWI.
I think I already sent
So I
you
do,
that.
the appointment did come through, Your Honor.
It
So I
did?
do
Okay,
have that.
good. All right, so I just need for you to file a competency evaluation on both of her cases. Now that she's here, we'll make sure that we get her evaluated. And because she does have a new charge in violation of her bond conditions, I'm going to revoke her DWI bond, okay? And I'm going to raise it. You don't think that she can bond out, do you?
No, I was just getting ready to say, if you raise it, could we just raise it to a lower, not so much, because I don't think she can afford it.
Well, she's got a $1,500 bond on her assault case. And I do see that the magistrate judge denied her a PR bond. So you don't think she can make a bond for $1,500, right?
Correct.
Okay. All right. Well, I'd like to have her evaluated because she didn't voluntarily go to her evaluation. Now that she's here, let's see if we can get her evaluated.
Okay.
I don't know if you can file that online, or are you going to be at the courthouse tomorrow?
I'm back on Wednesday, but I can get it.
Okay,
Done.
I think you can e-file it, but in case you can't, I'll be here all week.
Okay.
So you can file it on Wednesday, and we'll get it taken care of. And in the meantime, let me just go ahead and since you're going to do that, it's going to take probably at least 30 days. Let me see if I can get you a date. Millie.
Yes, sir.
So this is going to be on Harris. She's got 2 cases. She's going to get evaluated, psyched. What date can I give her once Ms. Martin files for the evaluation?
So if she's staying in jail.
Yes.
They do it within 2 weeks.
Really, that quickly?
Yes.
Oh, that's
Okay.
good.
Yeah.
I know, that's good. Okay.
Missed it in February.
I know she did. That's why. And she picked up another case.
So I mean, I'll just do another like 3 or 4 weeks.
Okay.
With us, we can do the 4th of June or the 10th of June.
All right.
Can we do
So
the 9th?
June 10th or June 4th?
Can we do the 5th or the 9th?
Oh, 5th or 9th?
Let's do the 5th then.
All right, let's do June 5th. So, Ms. Martin, these are on both her cases, okay?
Okay,
June 5th.
got it.
All right, so just file it. Like I mentioned, if you can e-file it, great. If you can't, I'll be here all week.
Okay, thank you. And I'm still
All right.
gonna call her now before they send her back.
All right, thank you. And
Okay.
we'll see you next time.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You're welcome. Thank you. Okay, let's see who's next. All right, I have another PC, Miss Anthony. Last name is Heath. First name is Kaylee. Kaylee Heath, come on up. All right, so is it Kaylee? Calais, I'm sorry, Mr. Heath. All right, sir, you do not have a lawyer today, is that right? All right, Mr. Heath, I just wanted to inform you, there has not been a judge that has heard probable cause on your case yet. So I'm going to ask the Assistant District Attorney to read to me the facts surrounding why you were arrested and charged with this offense. When she's reading the facts of your case, I don't want you to say anything. I just want you to listen. After I hear the facts of your case, the court is going to determine whether there exists enough probable cause to continue with your case. If the court does find probable cause, then what we're going to do is we're going to talk about what you're being charged with. We'll talk about any conditions of bond the court may impose, and then we'll talk about an attorney. All right, Ms. Anthony, whenever you're ready, you may proceed.
Yes, Judge. On 5/5/2025, officers dispatched to a DWI on a roadway in Harris County, Texas. Witness stated that defendant was sleeping in the vehicle with the engine on. Officer observed defendant asleep behind the wheel of the vehicle with the vehicle running. Defendant refused to step out and looked confused. Officer observed odor of alcoholic beverage. HGN 4 out of 6. Walk and turn 6 out of 8. One leg stand 4 out of 4. DIC was read, breath was refused, and a blood warrant was signed.
All right, Mr. Heath, the court's going to find that there is sufficient probable cause to continue with your case. You are being charged with the offense of driving while intoxicated. That is a Class B misdemeanor, which means that you can get up to 6 months in the county jail and up to a $2,000 fine. It also means that if you had a valid Texas driver's license at the time of your arrest, DPS may suspend your license as a result of this arrest. So what we're going to do this morning, sir, is the court's going to order some conditions regarding your bond. So, Ms. Garcia, this is on page 8, Heath.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Heath, the court's going to order that while you're on bond, you'll be prohibited from possessing any firearms or any weapons. While you're on bond, you will also be prohibited from consuming any or drinking any alcohol or any controlled substance that you do not have a prescription for. These two conditions of bond are going to remain until this case is over with. I'm going to ask you to sign these conditions of bond. You will be given a copy of these conditions. If you violate any of the conditions of bond, you're subject to having the bond that you're currently on revoked, and you can be taken to custody. Now, you are going to need an attorney to represent you on this case. Are you working right now, sir? What type of work do you do?
Assistant manager at a restaurant.
And how long have you been doing that? 4 months. Okay, I'll give you two options regarding a lawyer. I can reschedule your case to allow you time to hire an attorney of your own choice, or would you like the court to appoint you one this morning?
Reschedule and get.
Hire your own, okay. All right, so what we're going to do, Mr. Heath, is we're going to reschedule your case to allow you time to hire an attorney. Now, if you do hire an attorney, just have that attorney contact this court before the next court date. You, sir, do not have to come back to court as long as you have an attorney representing you. However, if you don't have an attorney representing you on the next court date, you will have to return to court. All right, Mr. Heath, do you have any questions on anything that I mentioned to you, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, right behind you, the table. Now, please also go with her, sounds conditions, and we'll reset your case. Millie, page 8, Heath, THA. Okay, let's see who's next. Okay, I have another one. Let's see here. I believe I need PC on this. Let me look at it. Oh, no, I don't. Damaris Martinez. So you are Damaris Martinez?
Yeah, this one.
Oh, yeah, I remember that he was, I believe you came in last time, right? And mentioned to us that he was in ICE custody. Is he still in ICE custody?
Yeah, so she was recently moved to Washington,
Washington,
the state.
you're kidding. They transfer her? Was she in Conroe?
She was, yeah.
And they transferred her to Washington State? God. All right. Do you know if the family is going to try to get her a lawyer for her immigration?
So, as far as I know, she does has a immigration lawyer, but it doesn't look like she's gonna come like back home, basically.
Is this a lawyer that the family hired?
Yes.
Okay. And have you spoken to that lawyer?
Me personally, no.
Do you,
I can try to get in contact.
well, I just need to know if there exists a possibility of her possibly getting an immigration bond. I just need to know, because I just can't keep this case open. I don't necessarily want to, the court can revoke her bond. I don't necessarily want to do that, not yet anyway, until I know if she's got the possibility of being released on a bond. So you would need to talk to her immigration lawyer to see about that. Has she ever had any problems with immigration before? No? Oh, man. All right. And what's your relationship with her? So that's your mom?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I'm sorry to hear that she got detained. All right. Is there a way that you can contact do you know if the lawyer's here locally in Houston or not? Do you know?
Honestly, I don't, but I can have that all figured out by like the end of the day today.
Did other family members hire that attorney? Somebody
Yeah, as
else?
far as I know, it's,
Other siblings or who? Do you know other children? Do you know who?
yeah, I have two siblings, older siblings.
And you think they hired?
Yeah, I think it was my oldest brother.
Are they here also? Your oldest brother?
No.
They're not in Houston?
Oh, like, are they actually? No, I don't think they're in Houston.
Really?
They work, my oldest brother, he worked with, putting, pipes in the ground.
Huh?
That's, I heard he was in Arizona.
Wow. Okay. I just need to know if they did hire a lawyer, if there exists the possibility of her being released on some type of immigration bond. That's all I need to know. If you or somebody else comes back and says, nope, there's no way that she's going to be released, then I'm going to have no choice but to revoke her bond here and issue a warrant for arrest, which I do not want to do. But I just can't keep this case open forever.
There's no, so there's no way around that.
Nope.
There's no way for me to, so they can coordinate with you guys.
If you can have them come to court, if you have an immigration lawyer that
The lawyer, sure.
well, I just need information.
Yeah.
I just need information to determine what's our next step. And if the immigration lawyer is here locally, they can contact the court. They don't have to necessarily come. They can zoom in. Are you familiar with Zoom?
Yeah.
They can zoom in. Okay, they can zoom into court. I can go ahead and accept them. We can have a conversation. I just need to know if there exists the possibility of your mom being released on an immigration bond. If the immigration lawyer says no, then I know what to do. If the immigration lawyer says yes, there exists the possibility, then I can probably reschedule your mom's case. I want to reschedule your case today anyway.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, George.
But I just need to know because, like I said, I can't keep this like this forever. And usually it's been my experience with immigration. They usually take a long time, on their cases.
Ask, so like if they don't, because honestly, I don't really think they are, otherwise they wouldn't have moved her,
I know.
But, so like if they don't, and then, so even like to backtrack a little more, the incident that happened, it was with me. And
Yeah.
I already said I don't want to curse.
Have you talked to, has anyone from the district attorney's office spoken to you since this happened?
Since it happened, no, but they just told me
All
like,
right, hang on. Miss Anthony,
Yes, Judge.
this is Damaris Martinez.
Yes, Judge.
Is this a DVD case?
Yes.
She was just here.
Yes, I can.
Can you contact her? All right, let's do this. The prosecutor that's handling this case was in court earlier this morning. She's in the building. What's your name?
Jonathan Murphy.
Okay, I do see the information about what she's charged with, and I do see that Jonathan Martinez is the individual, is the victim of the assault. Okay, so I'm gonna have the prosecutor talk to you this morning. And y'all have a conversation, be private between y'all two. And then once you have that conversation, then she'll let me know what she wants to do. Okay. And then I could tell you if we're going to reschedule your case or not. Okay.
All right.
So if you would just have a seat, she's going to call you in a few minutes. Okay. All right. Thanks. Mr. Runcie, how are you?
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well.
What you got this morning?
Rudy Ortiz on docket for
Oh, for the appeal. Give me 1 second here.
DWI first time served.
All right, give me 1 second. Let me do this. Miss Martin, do you have something real quick?
Yes, Your Honor, just reapproaching on Miss Harris's bonds.
Oh, yeah, I went ahead and raised it to 2,500. So she got
Okay.
$2,500 bond on her DWI.
Okay, she's re-urging me to request PR bonds, so
Nope,
I just
I'm
wanted
not
to.
gonna give her PR bond. No, I'm sorry. Tell her no.
Understood.
All
Thank
right.
you, y'all.
All right, you're welcome. Take care. All right, let me see here. Oh, is he here? Let's bring him up. Rudy Ortiz?
And Judge,
Yes, sir.
previously had the license suspended due to AOR.
Oh, okay. I'll run it. I'll give him, I'll make a request to DPS to run it concurrent.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Okay, sir, you are Rudy Ortiz. All right, Mr. Ortiz, you're here with the attorney, Mr. Runcie. You are being charged with the offense of driving while intoxicated. That is a Class B misdemeanor, which means that you can get up to 6 months in the county jail and up to a $2,000 fine. You signed some documents this morning. One of the documents that you signed is entitled Misdemeanor Plea of Guilty. That document, sir, says that you have certain constitutional rights. That document says that you have a right to have a jury trial, a right to confront any witnesses that may testify against you at that trial, and a right for your attorney to cross-examine those witnesses. However, when you sign that document, you give up all of those rights. Do you understand? All right, Mr. Ortiz, I do have to advise you that under federal law, if you're not a U.S. citizen, a plea of guilty could result in your deportation, denial of naturalization, or admissions to this country. You also signed 2 other sets of documents. One of them says that after today, you do not have a right to appeal your case. Your case ends today. And the other document that you signed says after today, there's not going to be any more work or investigations done by your attorney or the attorneys for the state. Your case is final today. Do you understand, sir? Mr. Ortiz, did you sign all of these documents freely and voluntarily? Has anyone forced you to sign any of these documents? And has your attorney answered all of your questions you have regarding your case? Mr. Ortiz, to the offense of driving while intoxicated, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty? Are you pleading guilty because you are? Mr. Ortiz, on your plea guilty, the court finds you guilty of the offense of driving while intoxicated, assesses your punishment as per the plea agreement at 3 days in the county jail. Yes, you will be given credit for 1 day that you've already served. That's time served, no more jail time. You will have to pay court costs. However, I will allow you time. I'll give you credit for that 1 day that you spend in the county. Toward those costs, the remaining balance you can pay on a payment plan. And as a result of this conviction, there will be a suspension of your driver's license for a period of 90 days. However, since your license was previously suspended as a result of this arrest by the Texas Department of Public Safety, I'm going to go ahead and make a request to DPS to give you credit for those days that your license was suspended. And hopefully, if everything works out okay, your license will not be suspended. All right, sir, do you have any questions on anything that I mentioned to you, sir? Mr. Runcie, any questions? All right, sir, if you would just step right here to my left, and good luck to you, sir. ALR, you're welcome. ALR credit installment. Okay.
Yeah, this is PTO. Thank you. All right, go ahead and read that.
Okay, let's see who's next. Anthony Tech.
You are not allowed to drive that back, driving license, and it's the first. I'm gonna do one that's all. That's not this time.
Okay, so you are Anthony Tech. I'm Mr. Tech. I have a lawyer today, right? All right, Mr. Deck, I just wanted to inform you of what you are being charged with. You are being charged with the offense of failure to stop and give information. That is a Class B misdemeanor, which means that you can get up to 6 months in the county jail and up to a $2,000 fine. Now, I see that this was an offense that was alleged to have occurred May 5th of 2023. So 2 years ago. I see that there was an investigation that was being done by the Harris County Sheriff's Department. They were called in reference to something that happened on 1960 on May the 5th. They made contact with an individual, and that individual stated that that person was driving on FM 1960. He was stopped at a traffic when he felt his vehicle got hit. He got out of the vehicle. He noticed it was a white 2017 Chevrolet Silverado pickup truck. He went ahead and got the license plates of that car. He told the officers, the sheriff's department, that, let's see, he got out of the car. Let's see. I'm sorry. Looks like he said you were driving a 2016 Buick Enclave.
Yeah.
He was driving the Silverado. And he's told the officers that you and him agreed to meet up at a Shell gas station on 1960. He drove to the gas station parking lot, but then you drove away. Let's see. There's a person by the name of Donna that witnessed the accident and left her phone number. Okay. Officers did a investigation. They found out that the vehicle was registered to you, Anthony Peck. Okay. And so they decided to go ahead and contact the district attorney's office, and charges were filed against you back in May of 2023. There was a warrant issued for your arrest. That warrant just happened to be out there all of this time until it looks like you got detained last week, right? You went to jail? All right. When you went to jail, they found this warrant. You were released on a bond. So what we're going to do this morning, sir, is the court's going to order some conditions regarding your bond. So, Ms. Garcia, this is on page 17, Anthony Tech.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Tech, there's an individual that's accusing you of this offense, okay? Let's see here. Tilfus Perry is accusing you of this offense, and I have to believe you don't know who that is, right? So, Ms. Garcia, do you see the to-be warrant?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you see the name on the very first paragraph? It says Tilfus Perry, the complainant. It's on the to-be warrant, the very first paragraph, and it says it happened on May 5th. And right next, the next sentence, it says vehicle driven by Tilfus Perry, hereafter called the complainant.
Your Honor, I'll send it. Yes, Your Honor, I see.
So we're no contact.
Yes.
So you're not, the court's going to order that you do not have any contact with that individual that's accusing you of this offense. No contact means not call, text, email. Shouldn't be a problem because you don't know who it is, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Secondly, the court's going to order while you're in bond, you'll be prohibited from possessing any firearms or any weapons. These two conditions of bond, sir, are going to remain until this case is over with. I'm going to ask you to sign these conditions of bond. You'll be given a copy of these conditions. If you violate any of the conditions of this bond, you're subject to having the bond that you're currently on revoked, and you can be taken to custody. Now, you're going to need an attorney to represent you on this case. Are you working right now, sir? What type of work do you do? Painter? How long have you been doing that?
5 years.
Do you work for yourself? Okay, because you have been working and had steady employment for at least 1 year, the court's going to require you to hire your own lawyer. We're going to reschedule your case to allow you time to hire an attorney. Now, if you do hire a lawyer, have that attorney contact this court before the next court date. You, sir, do not have to come back to court as long as you have an attorney representing you. However, if you don't have an attorney representing your next court date, you will have to return to court. All right. Do you have any questions on anything I mentioned to you? All right. Right behind you, the table. My preacher also go with her. Sounds conditions. Have a seat. We'll reset your case. Millie, page 17, Anthony Tech, THA.
No violations.
Morning.
Morning, sir.
You need approach?
Yes, sir.
Come on up. What you got this morning? How are
Here,
you?
Mr. Martinez.
Martinez. Let's see.
It's an arraignment docket, Judge.
Oh, okay. No worries. Give me 1 second. Is it Addictive Martinez Delgado?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I got it right here.
He's present.
Okay.
Judge, I need to get it.
Oh, interpreter?
Yeah, interpreter.
Okay, Millie.
Let me get that.
Okay, no worries. Okay, thanks. As soon as he gets here, we'll
I
approach.
forgot about that, Judge.
That's okay. All right, let's see who else we. Do you know if you've been able to reach out to Miss Pybus?
Yes, I messaged her. She has not responded. When
Okay.
she left, she said she was going to a bail review hearing.
Oh,
So she
okay.
may be in that hearing.
All right. Just want to see if she'll have an opportunity to speak to this complaining witness. Let's see who I have next.
Yes.
All right, I have one more PC. Oh, Mr. Lagon, come on up.
Hey, so just approaching real quick on Calzada Carbajal.
Let's see here.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I got it right here. What's happening with that case? Racing on the highway?
Yeah, it was, you set for bond forfeiture.
Okay. Okay, good.
This is one where he was supposed to get 8 hours of community service done. He has not got that done, but I just talked to the state and they're willing to substitute the community service for $100 donation.
Oh, really? Okay.
So,
That's reasonable.
yeah, so I think, I was just gonna see if we could roll this like Wednesday.
Are you sure? I can do it in the next week if you want. Are you gonna be around Wednesday or?
Maybe better.
Are you gonna be around next week?
I'll be around next Wednesday.
Okay, so I'll tell you what, get with Millie, let her know, roll it to next Wednesday. Tell your client, pay it.
He'll get it done.
All right, and then, and if they can do it before next week, they can dismiss it off docket.
Yes.
Okay, you got it, Ms. Leno. Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. I do have one more PC,
Yes, Judge.
and it's going to be on. Okay, give me 1 second. Now I lost it. Okay, last name is Leha, first name is William. William Leha, coming up, sir. That's for PC. Okay, so you are William Leha?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Leha, you don't have a lawyer today, right?
No, I'm in the process of going.
All right, no worries. I just wanted to inform you, sir, that there has not been a judge that has heard probable cause on your case yet. So I'm going to ask the Assistant District Attorney to read to me the facts surrounding why you were arrested and charged with this offense. When she's reading the facts of your case, I don't want you to say anything. I just want you to listen. After I hear the facts of your case, the court is going to determine whether there exists enough probable cause to continue with your case. If the court does find probable cause, then what we're going to do is we're going to talk about what you're being charged with. We're going to talk about any conditions of bond the court may impose, and then we'll talk about an attorney. All right, Ms. Anthony, whenever you're ready, you may proceed.
Yes, Judge. On 5/5/2025, officer conducted a traffic stop on defendant in a parking lot in Harris County, Texas. Witness advised that he observed someone asleep in the vehicle. Officer observed defendant asleep in driver's side seat with engine on. Officer observed mild odor of alcoholic beverage and glossy eyes. There was an open bottle of beer in the cup holder. HGN 6 out of 6, walk and turn 1 out of 8, one leg stand 1 out of 4. Officer located cocaine on the defendant. DIC was read, breath was refused, and a blood warrant was signed. Defendant was previously convicted of DWI on May 19th, 2006 out of Court 2.
All right, Mr. Leha, the court is going to find that there is sufficient probable cause to continue with your case. You are being charged with the offense of driving while intoxicated. Now, I see that you were convicted of the offense of driving while intoxicated in 2006. So this makes it a driving while intoxicated as a second offender. That is a Class A misdemeanor, which means that you can get up to 1 year in the county jail and up to a $4,000 fine. It also means that if you had a valid Texas driver's license at the time of your arrest, DPS may suspend your license as a result of this arrest. So what we're going to do this morning, sir, is the court's going to order some conditions regarding your bond. So, Ms. Garcia, this is on page 10, Leha. All right, Mr. Leha, the court's going to order that while you're on bond, you will be prohibited from possessing any firearms or any weapons. While you're on bond, you will also be prohibited from drinking any alcohol or any controlled substance that you do not have a prescription for. And you're also going to be ordered to undergo random urine test. Okay, I do see that you were also charged with the offense of possession of a controlled substance. And I see that the bond conditions on that one requires you to do urine tests. So, Ms. Garcia, UAs, but he's going to pay the UAs because the court upstairs, so it'll be defendant paid. All right, Mr. Leha, these conditions of bond are going to remain until this case is over with. I am going to ask you to sign these conditions of bond. You will be given a copy of these conditions. If you violate any of the conditions of this bond, you're subject to having the bond that you're currently on revoked, and you can be taken into custody. Now, you are going to need an attorney to represent you on this case. I see that your other case was rescheduled to 6/25 for you to get a lawyer. So we're going to reschedule your case for the same day, June 25th. Now, Mr. Leha, if you do get a lawyer, just have that attorney contact this court before the next court date. You, sir, do not have to come back to court. You let your attorney take care of your case. However, if you do not have an attorney by the next court date, you will have to return to court. All right, sir, do you have any questions on anything that I mentioned to you? All right, right behind you, the table, my preacher also go with her, sounds conditions, have a seat, we'll reset your case. Millie, page 10, Leha, THA. All right, come on up, Ms. Capillo. Come on up. We got our interpreter here. And let's see here. Yes, Mr. Martinez Delgado. Sir. And Ms. Anthony, this is Martinez Delgado, but it's not for PC. But there was a 2B one.
You need clause number?
Yeah, please.
Oh. Yes, sir. You're Argenis Martinez Delgado. You're here with your attorney. I just wanted to inform you, sir, of what you are being charged with. You are being charged with the offense of assault of a family member. That is a Class A misdemeanor, which means that you can get up to 1 year in the county jail and up to a $4,000 fine. I see that this was an offense that was alleged to have occurred on June 28th of 2023. That's almost 2 years ago. There's an individual by the name of Gamboa Francis that's accusing you of this offense. I see that there was an investigation that was being done by the Harris County Precinct 5 Constable's Office. I see that they were, sent over to a residence in Katy. They met with Gamboa Francis, and Gamboa Francis told the officers that you were her husband and that she's accusing you of assaulting her. Okay. So the officers went ahead and did an investigation, and they contacted the district attorney's office and charges were filed against you. Now, those charges happen to be out there all of this time until it looks like you posted a bond in Fort Bend County. Was he arrested on Fort Bend? Did he get detained in Fort Bend and they found this warrant?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Got pulled over for speeding ticket.
Okay, they found the warrant? Yeah, okay. All right, sir. So I do see that you posted a bond out of Fort Bend County and were released on bond. So what we're going to do this morning, sir, is the court's going to order some conditions regarding your bond. Now, Ms. Anthony, do you see this case, Martinez Delgado?
Yes, Judge.
Do you know if anyone from the state has had any contact with the complaining witness?
Yes, Judge, they have.
Okay. Is she requesting any conditions?
Let me check, Judge. Yes, it looks like residency restriction and no contact.
Now, did they contact the complaining witness recently?
This morning, Judge.
Oh, this morning. Okay. Were you aware of that?
I was, yes.
Okay. And do you know, I'm assuming, I see that in the to be warrant, they were husband and wife. Are they still together?
No, sir. They were actually meeting up that day to sign divorce papers.
Oh, I see.
So they have been separated. They don't have any children.
Okay.
The only reason he has to communicate with her is to finalize the divorce, which is my understanding still has not been done.
All right. So she requesting no contact?
Yes, Judge. But if they have to, state would be amenable to no threatening.
2 years, almost, since this happened. So I had to believe there's been some type of contact since then. Okay, I'll order no threatening. So, Ms. Garcia, it's on page 11, Martinez Delgado.
Yes, sir.
So, Mr. Delgado, the court's going to order while you're on bond, you're not to threaten, harass, or assault Gamboa Francis. You may speak to her, you may contact her, email, text, whatever. Just don't threaten her, harass her, or assault her. You will be prohibited from going over to her residence, wherever she may live. Don't go to any residence, okay? And you will also be ordered, sir, not to possess any firearms or any weapons. These conditions of bond are going to remain until this case is over with. I'm going to ask you to sign these conditions of bond. You'll be given a copy of these conditions. If you violate any of the conditions of this bond, you're subject to having the bond that you're currently on revoked, and you can be taken into custody. Now, we are going to reschedule your case to allow your attorney time to gather all the evidence that he needs. On your next court date, sir, you do not have to come to court. Your attorney will let you know if and when it's necessary for you to return to court. All right, sir. Do you have any questions on anything that I've mentioned to you? Okay. Okay. Do you have any questions?
Yes, sir.
All right, sir. Right behind you, the table, my pretrial officer, go with her. Signs conditions, have a seat. We're going to reschedule your case. And just get a court date from my coordinator.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Yeah, it was run in 2020.
Millie, on page 2, Barrera Ernesto, Court Appoint.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning. Hey, you're welcome. Yes, ma'am. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good, thanks.
I have a Spanish arraignment on Ms. Ventura Davila.
Ventura Davila. Nope, got it right here. All right, let's call her Francia Ventura Davila. Now, I haven't heard PC on this. Would you like the court to hear it?
Yes.
Okay. And Ms. Anthony, this is on Ventura Davila.
Yes.
CFSGI. On page, yeah, it's on page 19.
Okay.
Page 19, if you need the cause number. You are Francia Ventura Davila. You're here with your attorney. I just wanted to inform you that there has not been a judge that has heard probable cause on your case yet. So I'm going to ask the assistant district attorney to read to me the facts surrounding why you were arrested and charged with this offense. When she's reading the facts of your case, I don't want you to say anything. I just want you to listen. After I hear the facts of your case, the court is going to determine whether there exists enough probable cause to continue with your case. If the court does find probable cause, then what we're going to do is we're going to talk about what you are being charged with. We're going to talk about any conditions of bond that the court may impose, and then we're going to reschedule your case. All right, Ms. Anthony, whenever you're ready, you may proceed.
Yes, Judge. On 5/5/2025, officer is dispatched to a failure to stop and give information in Harris County, Texas. Complainant told the officer that someone had hit his vehicle while parked. Complainant did not see who, but got video footage from a neighbor. Video showed the vehicle and license plate of defendant's vehicle. Officers went to address listed and spoke to defendant. Defendant admitted to being involved in the accident and stated she was distracted. She told officers she got scared and left the scene. Damage was $2,000.
Any response of procedure? Okay. All right, Ms. Davila, the court's going to find that there is sufficient probable cause to continue with your case. You are being charged with the offense of failure to stop and give information. That is a Class B misdemeanor, which means that you can get up to 6 months in the county jail and up to a $2,000 fine. So what we're going to do this morning is the court's going to order some conditions regarding your bond. Ms. Garcia, this is on page 19, Ventura Davila. All right, Ms. Ventura Davila, there is a person by the name of Eddie Gonzalez that's accusing you of this offense. I have to believe you do not know who that is. Okay, so the court is going to order that you do not have any contact with Eddie Gonzalez. Do not call, text, email, no contact whatsoever. Secondly, the court's going to order that you are prohibited from possessing any firearms or any weapons. These conditions of bond are going to remain until this case is over with. I'm going to ask you to sign these conditions of bond. You will be given a copy of these conditions. If you violate any of the conditions of this bond, you're subject to having the bond that you're currently on revoked, and you can be taken into custody. We are going to reschedule your case to allow time for your attorney to gather all the evidence that she needs. On your next court date, you do not have to come to court. You let your attorney take care of your case. She will let you know if and when it's necessary for you to return to court. All right. Do you have any questions on anything that I mentioned to you? Any questions?
No.
All right, right behind you is my pretrial officer. Go with her. Sounds conditions. Have a seat. We'll reset your case and just get a date. You're welcome. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you. You too. Yes, sir. Good morning.
Good morning.
What you got this morning?
My colleague Bessie said from Fairview.
What's the last name?
Last name Brown.
Brown. Let's see here.
Yeah.
In custody?
Yes.
All right. Let me see here. Oh, Tisha Brown. Let me see. DWI.
Yeah, you do. Thank you.
Things are kind of back to where we don't get a personal bond.
I don't understand. She's only got $100 bond, and it looks like.
This is eligible.
Yeah, no. It's kind of funny.
And I don't see the usual bond pay for
I just wonder. Let me look at something. Looks like she got arrested yesterday.
Yeah.
I wonder if she's in processing.
She got here.
Miss Anthony,
Yes,
do you
Judge.
see this case,
Yes.
Keisha Brown?
Yes, Judge.
Do you see that if she has anything else pending county besides Harris?
Yes, I'm looking right now. It looks like she was on a DUI probation, but she should have been off of that in 2022. That's the only criminal history I'm seeing. Yes.
So you see a DWI case?
Yes, I see there was a DUI out of, I believe this is Georgia, that she was on a probation for.
State of Georgia, right?
Yes, yes, Your Honor, out of, in 2021, it was a 12-month probation, so it looks like that should be over by now.
Okay,
But that's the only thing I see.
all right. Well, if she does have that probation, this makes it a DWI second. And if that's the case, I'm going to issue bond conditions. I will release her. I want to give her a PR bond. Let me check something. Nancy, real quick. On page 23, Brown, she's in custody. Do you see anywhere on there where she might be released on a GOB? She's got $100 bond, but that's
It just says she's eligible, Judge.
really, that's all?
That's all. I don't know if she's actually been
It
getting.
looks like she got booked in yesterday, right? Yeah, I see 3 a.m., 5:11. So I bet you that she's eligible. Maybe the paperwork hadn't gone through, but not, she's physically here, right? Let me just do a PR bond. Ms. Garcia,
Yes, Your Honor.
on page 23, Brown, I'm going to go ahead and do a personal bond on her. She's in custody, but I'm going to raise the bond to 2,000, although it'll still be a PR bond. And Millie, page 23, Tisha Brown, I'm granting a PR bond on her. I just need to get a future date for discovery. July 20. Is that a good day for you? Okay, to July 23rd. So let me do that on a bond paperwork. All right, so July 23rd. But I am going to issue bond conditions. So looks like since she does have a prior DWI, I'm going to have to order an interlock. Do you have any idea if she has plans of driving a motor vehicle? Not prohibiting her from driving, but if she's going to drive, which is fine, as long as she has a valid Texas driver's license.
So I went on that, there was a refusal, so I assume the ALR suspension would be there.
Yeah, but she is, the ALR is not going to take effect for another 45 days. But I just need to know if she plans on driving because she just got arrested.
Yeah.
And there's a 15-day period that you can request for an ALR hearing. Not that you're going to do it because you're just appointed on this case. And I just need to know if she's going to be driving. If not, I'm going to order a portable and no driving.
Yeah, so I believe she will be driving, just kind of see how we handle that, address it later if we need to.
Okay, so then we'll order portable, no driving. She will be driving?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, so then Ms. Garcia, let's order an interlock,
Yes, Your Honor.
waive the monitoring fees and agency pay,
Yes, sir.
and let's do random urine test too and waive those fees.
Yes, Your Honor.
And no weapons, no alcohol, controlled substance. So just let her know, no alcohol, no controlled substances without a prescription, no alcohol, interlock, we'll pay for the interlock, and then a random UAs, and we're gonna also pay for those.
Yeah.
So she's gonna have to come out here in a couple of minutes. Ms. Garcia, how is she, when she is released, she has to go to 49?
Yes, be up to her, Your Honor, once she gets released.
Okay.
To go over to
Okay, just let her know that once she's released from custody, she has to go to 49 Senior Center. Now, it's in the morning. If we do this, she might be released today, but I don't know how late.
Yeah.
I think pretrial's only there till 4 next door. So she might have to come back tomorrow. But just let her know to come pretrial, get her bond conditions, and then we'll reset her case for 7/23, and she's good to go. Okay?
Sounds good.
All right.
So I do have one more.
Yes, sir.
Last name Harvey.
Harley?
Harvey.
In custody also?
Yes, Judge.
Let me see, Harvey. Got her here.
Basically, it's kind of weird. I think she backed up to me bond like yesterday.
Oh,
Bond made. They told me she be being released.
it's probably in processing then. Let me look at it.
Still, we need to do.
Let me look at it. All right. Nancy, page 27, Harvey.
Yes.
I do see bond made on 2 cases.
Yes.
Oh.
The other office, someone that includes me on.
Which one? The theft or the trespass? Because I see a trespass and but I see bonds on both.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see the PR bond on the trespass. Oh, God, I wish they wouldn't do this. Are you gonna represent on both?
I've been appointed both.
Yeah, let me look at the theft. I don't see bonds on the theft, Nancy, but I do see that,
It's in the system, Judge.
it is supposed
It's not in these-
so it is being processed. Okay, so he's gonna be released on bond. But I need to issue bond conditions now that he's here. Is he physically here?
Yes.
Okay, let's do this. Let me look at the theft real quick. Let me, come on. And trespass. All right, he's got bond conditions on the trespass. But I need to issue bond conditions on the theft. I haven't heard PC on it. Let me hear PC. Miss Anthony,
Yes, Judge.
this is on Harvey Duntae, Duntae, the theft.
Yes, Judge.
Let me hear PC on that theft case.
Yes, Judge. On 5/9/2025, officer was dispatched to a robbery in progress call at CVS in Harris County, Texas. Officer met with complainant, who was the store manager of the CVS. Complainant stated defendant was outside of the location causing a disturbance, threatening customers and digging through the trash. Complainant stated that he told defendant he did not mind him going through the trash, but not to make a mess. Approximately 20 minutes later, complainant observed defendant enter the CVS, and which he knew he shouldn't be on the premises because complainant told him earlier in the day to not come back because he took merchandise earlier by concealing them on his person and passing past all points of sale and walking out of the store. And the total was $44.84.
All right, so I'm gonna do bond conditions on Mr. Harvey also, so Ms. Garcia.
Yes, Your
This is on page 27, Harvey. No contact or going over to the CVS. Do you have a particular location?
Yes, I have a location, Judge.
So do you mind giving that to Ms. Garcia? Just to, okay, and no weapons.
Yes, Your Honor.
So he's here too, right? We're gonna bring him out too also so he can sign those bond conditions and just tell him, don't go over that CVS and no weapons. Now, his other case that you're appointed is not set for until 16, but let's off docket that. And I want to set both cases together. So just let Millie know to put those 2 cases together and we'll set them off probably sometime in June or July. Okay? And then we'll bring out in a minute to sign those things. Okay, you got it. Thank you. Yes, you're welcome. Morning, how are you?
How are you today, Judge?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good, Judge.
Oh, that's good.
Eric Provost, he's in custody. Judge, I don't know if, I was trying to see if probable cause had been found.
See, I'm looking at the trespass to see why he's in custody on a trespass.
Judge, he's in custody because the bond is set at 2,500, and I wanted to address,
You know why?
he's in the deferred, but they haven't filed a motion to revoke.
It's coming. I can assure you it's coming.
Well, on this one, Judge, the underlying case was a burglary at U of H. He goes there at 2:32. He was under the impression that he could not go back to that building, but he could go to the library and read books. So at 2:32, they saw him at the library and they filed a criminal trespass charge against him.
Unless he received notice not to come at all.
Well, Judge, and when I looked at the probation conditions, it does not say anything about he is not, it says no threatening or harassing
Yeah, but that's the probation. I'm talking about this case. So let's do this.
And I don't see where he received any notice.
Or let's see, Miss Anthony,
Yes, Judge.
Provost, Provost, Eric.
Yes.
Let me hear the PC on this one.
Yes, Judge. On 5/9/2025, officer responded to the U of H Anderson Library in Harris County, Texas, after receiving information from a U of H security officer working at the library. While conducting a patrol check of the area, security officer recognized the defendant by sight from a previous burglary of a building report. Officer met with the defendant and was provided his name and date of birth. Officer provided the information to UHPD Police Dispatch and confirmed the defendant had one previous criminal trespass that was issued by Officer Ritchie, reference case number 23-1626. Defendant was again found on U of H property without legitimate business or authorization.
So he was asked not to come back.
And there's just the part that I'm not clear on. He was arrested for I keep saying B&B, but the burglary. And I don't see where he was provided any notice. I think what he was he was arrested. He was charged with burglary. And then I don't see where he was giving a criminal trespass. When I looked at and I thought maybe it was a part of his probation, but I don't see anything in there other than no threatening or harassing communication with the alleged complaining witness. He was at the library. He wasn't at the building. And I get it. If he was given a criminal trespass for the entire university, I understand that.
Yeah.
But he was under the impression that he couldn't go back to that particular building. He was at the library at 2:32 p.m. reading a book.
Well, but
And I get it, Judge. If there was a criminal trespass, I just don't see it.
well, I don't see it in the probation conditions. You're correct. I don't see anything prohibiting him on his probation conditions.
Right, Judge.
But if the UHPD told him not to come back.
And that's the part I don't have, Judge. And I was gonna ask you, could you consider giving him a PR bond on that, Judge? Because that is a missing, I mean, he was there at 2:30, and I get it, if he was not supposed to be there, but there was nothing nefarious about him being at the library reading a book. Granted, if he was told not to be there, and I've explained to him that, I don't see it, but if they're saying that he can't be at any part of the university, whether he's at a library reading a book as a part of, because his conditions of probation said he had to get some type of GED or whatever. But I'm asking the court to consider giving him a PR bond on this case, because outside of this, I don't see any other criminal history. I see that he's on a deferred, and outside of this, there is no other criminal history, and the deferred is for a state jail felony.
Yeah, I do see it. But I'm gonna be honest with you. It's a 228.
And if they do, Judge, then that's an argument for but based on these facts, I would ask the court to give him a PR bond.
I'm hesitant. I'll be honest with you. I'm very hesitant. You know, especially and not necessarily that I am targeting your client or anything like that, but there's been a big issue with people going to that university that don't belong there. Okay.
And Judge, I do agree, but he was in the library.
I understand.
And I get it, Judge. I do. Even if I would think a PR bond would be appropriate in this circumstances due to the limited criminal history. He is on a deferred, and the trespass was at 2:32 p.m. at the library.
Do you see, all right, Miss Anthony, can you pull that again? What do you see anywhere on there what the date or time of offense?
Let me check, Judge. Yes, 2:32 p.m.
Okay. And it's at the library.
Yes, at the library.
And Judge, if it was 9:45 or 12 a.m. at the library, then I would.
No, I understand.
Jaden Brady. I think that Judge, I really got my case manager to see if you talk to him. Is there an not yet. As far as I can see it, what do you want to say?
Okay, from what I can tell on his burglary case, he never bonded out.
Right, there's no amount of bond that you can afford.
So it looks like he got charged with burglary. And
And he sat there for
I don't know how long. I mean, I see that
5 months.
maybe I do see that he was charged. Well, there's a 2B warrant. This was January of 2024, but it looks like he didn't get detained until December of 2024.
And it looks like he played out
And
the,
then he pled up in January, the
Right.
next month. So he spent at least a month in jail.
and the bond was only $1,000 on that case.
Let's see how much the bond was. Yep, you're right. It was 1,000.
This is on May 3rd.
That particular case, the allegation, he entered University of Houston Stadium offices and allegedly took some items that he pawned later on. All right, he was given $1,000 bond, but they did not give him a PR bond for that case in state jail, the state jail fellow. I'm very hesitant at giving him a PR bond. I really am. I'm sorry. I'm just super hesitant doing that.
And Judge, would you consider lowering it? I mean, even, I can tell you any amount of bond, but at 2,500 on these circumstances.
Yeah, I know that was the magistrate who did that. The magistrate gave him, excuse me, a $2,500 bond. All right, let's do this. I'm not giving him a PR bond. I'll split it in half, $1,250. And the 2,500.
So whether, trust where he was advised, because they said.
Yeah, we don't have it yet, but we'll have to request.
Okay,
the
can you
warning.
request?
I'll
Yeah,
put it in.
thank you.
I mean, I'm sorry. I'm just very hesitant of giving you a request. I understand exactly what you're saying. He was at the library, allegedly he was reading, et cetera, et cetera. He just got out of jail in January. And for burglary of the same location, University of Houston, and then he was given a trespass warning.
And that's the
So-
thing that's in question, Judge, but she's gonna request it to be,
Okay,
she's got
so-
probation conditions.
So, I mean, if he was given trespass, he had to know you can't come back here, period. I know. All right. I lowered the bond to $1,250. Let him know that if he bonds out, he is not to go to anywhere near the University of Houston. Because I do see bond conditions that specifically say, don't go over to the University of Houston, anywhere on campus. It's a huge campus. So anywhere on campus. And then let's just get a date from Millie or whatever date you want, okay?
Okay. Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Yes, ma'am. Come on up. How are you?
Hi, Judge.
Good morning. You haven't heard from Ms. Pybus, have you?
Judge, she let me know she's still in her bail review hearing.
Really? Is that in
Yes.
felony court?
She's in court 11. She's covering 5 courts today.
Can somebody else talk to the complaining witness? He's
Yes,
here.
Sounds like a fun hearing.
She did let me know she can give him a call, but I told her you wanted it in person.
Well, because she's here.
He's here.
Yeah, I mean, now that he's here, let's take advantage of it. I mean, if you or somebody else can do it, that's fine with me.
Yes, Judge, let me ask Chief.
Okay,
Oh,
Your Honor, I can speak
Okay.
with the.
this is on an assault case. It's just a rip call, okay? And it's going to be in reference to Martinez, Damaris Martinez. And the complaining witness is a Jonathan Martinez who's here in the courtroom. And it's just a rip call. So if you can handle that, Ms. Siegler, I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yes, ma'am.
Mark Solis, Your Honor.
Solis?
This is kind of a weird one. I was just looking at a complaint on this one, Your Honor. I believe you've already found PC, but I was eyeballing.
It's a harassment. Let me see
It's a
here.
couple phone calls. Apparently, his sister got into a beef with a complainant, and so he made some kind of foreboding phone calls, and they interpreted it as, to me, a little outlandishly, that meant he was going to show up at their house and shoot them up, even though he said, I believe the quote from the complaint is, "You have something coming, and I have a surprise for you."
The to-be warrant that was alleged to have occurred January 16th. I'm looking at the to-be warrant. Baytown PD, dispatched to location on Main Street in Baytown. Spoke to Charlotte Reyes, complainant. Do you know the relationship, if any, between?
This is, my understanding is, Your Honor, the defendant was backing up his sister who had a tiff with the complainant.
Oh,
And so he's the brother, the big brother, who apparently is, yeah, that's where these phone calls came about, at least from my reading of the complaint. But this is kind of a weird, you get from, I have a surprise for you, you've got something coming, to he's going to show up at their house and shoot them. I mean, that feels a little.
Let me see. It says complainant, they received a call from a Charlotte Reyes. Stated that her daughter, Jasmine Reyes, got into a verbal fight with her friend Mia. Words were exchanged, but the girls decided to squash the dispute. Then she said that Mia's brother, who is your client, Mr. Solis, started making phone calls to Jasmine's phone while Jasmine and complainant were at home in Baytown, stating things like, "I have a surprise for you and you have something coming." I mean, you know, that's.
But this is after the issue has been squashed, as they said, which is kind of.
I understand that. You know, when someone calls you and says, you have something coming, and you just gotten into an altercation, and then you come to find out that the person that's contacting you is the brother of the person that you had an altercation, I can see where this individual would feel.
Just seems kind of vague is all I was trying to say.
Well, I know. Okay, let me read some more.
Sorry, it was 37 times 11. Thursdays, right? Yeah, that's 36.
All right, did you read the part where it says that the complainant called and spoke to her mom, your client's mom?
Mm-hmm.
Then she could hear in the background yelling he was going to come and shoot her.
That sounds like extreme hearsay within hearsay within hearsay within. I don't know what that is, Your Honor.
I know, but this is just PC.
I know. It just seems a little.
I know.
An intriguing complaint.
I know. And she said she knew the defendant's voice from conversations she's had.
It's quite the family dynamic.
All right. Okay.
We're just requesting a bond on this one, Your Honor. It just is kind of a unique complaint.
Yeah, he didn't have a bond. All right, he's got an active case of tampering with a witness.
It is a case that's been pending out of the 180th, Your Honor. It looks like, I'm not counsel on that, but it's been pending for some time, for about a year now.
Posted a $35,000 bond on that case. So that leads me to believe he's got access to funds.
Although I am court appointed, Your Honor, so.
Because he's invested.
Or maybe he depleted that all his money with that $35,000 bond.
Years old. I'm not giving him a PR bond. So I'm concerned, you know, tampering with a witness is not a very, mild offense. Same thing, had contact with Baytown PD in reference to, I'm looking at the tampering. Okay.
Would it comfort the court at all to know that, standard bond conditions on the felony would be no access to a weapon? So for this to be proposed that he would have access to a gun to threaten the harass the complainant would be a violation of his bond conditions, and there's no BVR pending. So
Well, I agree with you there, but
access to a weapon should not be a possibility in order to give the complainant foundation for their harassment concerns.
well, I mean, I don't know what in terms of specific condition he's got on his probation. I haven't looked that far. This is not good. I mean, I hear what you're saying. You know, he's 18. He probably is not thinking of the words when he,
I don't disagree at all, Your Honor. I'm looking at the foundation of this, not the other case. I completely respect the concerns regarding that bond. But he is still on bond on that case, even with this going.
well, he's on, you're right. He is on bond. Well, actually, he's on bond. And it's in the 180th. And he's running a big risk also of having that bond revoked.
Right. And
By
this
that
case is
judge.
kind of odd, to say the least. And if he has not violated his bond conditions, which speaks to the fact that he does have felony bond conditions and they have not BVR'd him, then he shouldn't have.
Well, not yet,
access to it.
because it just happened on Saturday.
Right, but I believe the date of the complaint was back in January.
No, you're right. And obviously he didn't get booked into the jail until the 11th. And usually whenever we have bond violations is whenever they get detained. That's when they usually do the bond violation reports. And he just got detained and booked in on the 11th.
What I meant, Your Honor, and I completely agree with what you're saying regarding his recent arrest, is if there had been any conclusion that he had access to weapons or was using guns or threatening or displaying any guns towards the complainant, then clearly they could have BVR'd him at that time back in January.
No, I agree with you there, but he didn't. All right. All right, I'm going to give him a bond. He made a $35,000 bond on his felony case. That's quite a bit. He paid a surety bond on that one. And that was tampering. And I looked at the PC on that one. It's also words. Same thing, just words. And whenever they gave him a bond, they gave him a $35,000 bond on words. Same thing, just words. Like on here, words. So I'm just really concerned about this. Miss Anthony.
Yes, Your Honor.
This case on Solis, do you know if anyone from the state has had any contact with the complaining witness?
Not yet, Judge.
Yes.
And this is on. All right, I'm gonna give a bond of $2,500, assuming he could make that. And we're also gonna issue bond conditions. He's physically here, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
You just mirrored the felony bond conditions with your permission?
Let me see what the bond conditions are in felony. It'll be similar, but he's gonna have no contact with the complaining witness.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah, I do see no contact with that complaining witness, no possession of firearms. I'm gonna add a few more things. Just because of his age.
Yes, Your Honor.
So I'm gonna add no contact with the complaining witness, no firearms, and also because of age, no alcohol or controlled substances. Not that there
No
is,
speaking, so he doesn't get in trouble again.
sorry?
I said no speaking. Touche. I was, yeah.
I know, you know if he's in school or whatever?
I don't know that far, Your Honor. I have a 15-year-old, so I can definitely, thinking without speaking comes at this age. It doesn't help the case. It just,
I know.
it is what it is.
All right, so I'm gonna have him come out here in a few minutes so they can sign those bond conditions. I'll let Ms. Garcia know what they are.
Judge.
And then if you want to just set his case Does he have a court date in his felony court?
It was pushed out until July, Judge, in order to, or maybe it wasn't July. It was right after the next court setting for the felony.
Okay. All right, no worries. So then, in a few minutes, when Ms. Garcia is finished with this particular individual, we'll bring him out, have him sign the bail order. Not bail order, bond conditions, and just reset the case. Okay, you got it. You're welcome. Thank you.
Judge.
Sir, morning. How are you, Mr. Yoakum?
Big Judge.
Yes, sir.
I've got Mr. Freeze. I believe, I spoke with Kelsey, a little bit about this today. We were trying to get, he's on page 6, Judge.
Thanks.
Trying to get a PTI. We've given her the mitigation, AMC. He has a little bit of criminal history, starting back in 2002. He had there was, here, I can tell you, they can tell you this is why it's complicating it. No, photo ID in 97, that was rejected. Deadly conduct in Hayes County, $10 fine in 01. Bail jumping out of Hayes County, that was rejected. Theft, misdemeanor theft, out of county dismissed. The biggest one is his PCS case from 03, 04. He did 10-year deferred on that. Has a DWI and then an old theft, which was a theft by check that he pled no contest to. That was like a $20 check.
Okay.
Nothing
And it looks like he served 8 years TDC for the
on the
PCS.
Yeah, I think he got revoked on the probation.
On really? On the possession case?
Yeah.
Yes, it was
All
the
right.
manufacture, deliver, and a PCS.
He said the ultimate plea was to a PCS, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. It's a felony conviction. There's a lot of little hiccups, but this is an AFM. We've done the AMC.
Okay.
Kelsey was making him a 12-month deferred. I think I talked her into a 9-month deferred. The issue is he does apartment management, has been doing it since 05. They are not hiring him on the AFM or assaultive type offenses right now. So what I'm trying to do.
So he's employed right now? No, not yet. Okay, got it.
So I'm trying to get him back into his field.
Got it.
And so what I told Kelsey I would do is I'm going to have him do the online VIP class. Maybe that'll, I'll let Kelsey talk to him in the hallway. She talked to him. So I've got to bring her one more thing. I'm trying to get a PTI, even if it's supervised, because he at least can represent truthfully to the management. I'm on this PTI. It will be eventually dismissed.
If I successfully complete, yeah.
So I just need a little bit of latitude. Let him do the BIP online. It's not the 16-week in person. Just one reset will probably have enough.
But the BIP online is for how long? It's several.
Yeah, you can do it at your own pace.
I know. Do you know what the BIP program online would be or entail in terms of how many sessions?
Collective. I'm sending it to a different, I don't know what they have.
Oh, I see. It's
I
different.
sent this to Kelsey, and so I said, look, when we have him do an online BIP, he can do it at his own pace, and it meets court requirements.
18, is that the online one too? Okay. And that one, does it say on there how long it's for?
I don't know what she's talking about, but I've got.
That's the one from the probation office for.
Oh, okay. I've got, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 52.
Hours.
Range from $53 to $115. So I was gonna have to do the 24-hour.
Talk to the state. Now, if they're willing to accept that, that's fine with me. I don't have a problem with it, and I don't mind resetting it. But I just need to make sure that if that's acceptable, because we need to get it going, because it's pretty old. This case is, yeah, 600.
It's not going on trial docket.
Yeah.
The state has a decent case. I'm just trying to resolve in a manner that.
No, I understand.
Work.
I understand.
And this is, I just want to be clear, this is outside of their purview. This is for her. This
Right.
is for her to have in her file.
Right.
So if you just give me a reset, I'll get the bit to her.
Okay.
And try to get it to conclusion
Okay.
by the next session.
Do you remember seeing Batman, the old Batman with, who was it? Batman, I can't
The
remember.
TV show?
The TV show, the one in the 60s.
Yeah. I remember. I used to watch it.
There's a character named Mr. Freeze.
Oh, you're right.
Remember that?
There was. Yeah. The Joker,
Just-
the Penguin,
yeah.
Mr. Freeze.
Yeah, I just kind of saw it when I saw Mr.
Holy
Freeze.
moly,
I don't,
Batman.
yeah, exactly.
Same bat channel, same bat.
That's it. You got it. Hey, you got it, Monsieur. Okay, thanks. You're welcome. Yes, ma'am. Come on up. Hi, Miss Sims. Are you back from your vacation? Oh, how was it?
Yesterday,
Oh, nice.
we went on the 30th of April. It was a long trip.
Yeah, that was a long trip, but you enjoyed it? Have fun?
It was amazing.
Really?
You know, they call it the last frontier.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of, it really is.
I know, I agree with you.
You know,
It's
it's
very-
very rugged.
It is. It is very rough. You know, Alaska doesn't have a huge population at all.
There's a reason for that.
I know, there is a reason. And it's a lot of wilderness. I know. And I don't know if you had a chance to go whale watching or anything like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
we did.
nice.
And they stayed in Seattle, so.
Oh, nice.
Stayed, Puget Sound.
Oh, yeah,
And we
nice.
had a lot of wildlife over there. We even
Good.
saw well over there by Seattle. So
Oh,
it was
nice.
cool.
Nice.
Really.
How was the weather?
Well, we were supposed to do a helicopter and dog sled,
Oh,
but the weather was not permitting.
it's usually not that great right now. I know.
But most of it, we had excellent weather, except for
Okay.
the 2 days we were supposed to do outdoor,
Mhm.
activities. But other than that, it was amazing.
Well, good. I'm glad you had a good time.
Yes.
All right. All right. So you're
Okay,
here
so I have
on
Brady.
Brady?
This is the case with the
Oh, I remember this one. Yes, the harassment. Yes.
the
All right.
state and I have talked about it.
Okay.
They want, we are in agreement about a time served, he's got 37 days.
I think we
But
talked
we
about
wanted
this
to
earlier.
approach you and see what you said.
I remember we had a conversation about it.
Yeah.
And I remember how uncomfortable I was accepting the time served. And is this on one case and dismissing others or
No.
on all three? He's got,
But he's been in there for now 37 days.
all right, Nancy,
So what
this is on
that?
Brady, page 21. Can you tell me his credit? So what's the offer from the state? Because I believe if I remember correctly, last time I was saying 3 digits.
Yeah,
Yeah, 3-digit, right?
and it's still 111 at this point.
Yeah, you're right, 111 on 37 days credit.
He is going back to Mississippi, Your Honor.
Okay.
He's from there. And I don't think he's ever gonna come back here.
Yeah. This,
35, 36, and 37.
okay, so I can give him 37 on all 3 of them. So what's the state offering?
111 days. Well, we did the math on all of them, so
No, I
one,
know. 37, that would be 111.
yes, 111 and then 108 and 105.
I can give him credit for, did you say, what's the most, 37? I can give him credit for 37 on all 3 cases since he's been in custody. Yeah, since he's been in custody all this time. However, man, 111 days. I was thinking higher than that. I'll be honest with you.
Well, Your Honor, but you know, Your Honor, the maximum he would be in there would be 2 more weeks. And, he's got no record whatsoever. I know these are scary things, but with this on his record, it's a permanent tattoo for him.
I hear you.
If he gets into this kind of behavior, he's not ever gonna have the benefit of the doubt. You got 3 of them that will stick.
I know. All right. I will accept 150.
You will accept what?
150
150.
on all 3 of them. He has to do 51 days.
51 days.
Okay.
Okay.
So that means he's got to do 2 more weeks,
Okay.
and then he's done.
Okay.
But on all 3 of them.
On all 3 of you gonna write it up?
Now, if you want to do it today, that's fine.
Okay. I also have another client on the docket today.
Okay.
Ms. Bailey.
Oh, Bailey, yes.
I have called motion to withdraw, Your Honor.
Is she here?
We had some confusion about that. She is here.
Okay.
But I think that, she did discuss with me the bond issue. And, I do show that you have bond violations. However,
Yes.
Your Honor, I think that those were maybe.
Skip test. She was skipping her test.
She had switched devices to companies, and so they had to upload.
No, I know. It's nothing positive is skip test. I do have one positive blow on May 3rd. She tested positive on her blow on Saturday.
According to my client, Your Honor, I think it was a bad blow, but I think she immediately blowed thereafter.
I don't see that. I don't see that she blew
Do you
again.
have the report
Yeah,
itself?
I don't have the report, but I just have the incident 0.03.
Well, could we, yeah, right, and her, the classic, mouthwash issue, but she did re-blow.
I don't
So
see that
that
on
would,
here.
eliminate if.
But I don't see that here. I don't see that she blew again. Do you see that?
This is on who is your, who's it on your?
Oh, I'm sorry, Bailey. It's on Bailey on page 2. It's the BVR, the DWI.
Ask the case manager if she sees, like normally whenever they do retest, they include that in the BVR.
Yeah, I know, that's what I saw.
I can double check with her.
All right,
She didn't
now,
call and reported it.
I'll agree, it's a very low amount, 0.03. It is very low. Very low amount, 0.03.
Yeah.
All right, do you still want to withdraw on this case?
I need to withdraw that, we have a misunderstanding about, the case. She thought I was a court-appointed lawyer and I'm not.
Okay. Is she here?
She's here.
Let's bring her up. Miss Bailey? Now, I do see, that you filed a motion to withdraw on one of the cases, but not the other.
I'll file it.
On the MRP, you haven't filed it. And I'm assuming the MRP is a result of the new case. Let me see. Yep, it is. All right. All right, ma'am. Is it Antoriana Bailey? Antoriana, Miss Bailey, you're here with your attorney, Miss Sims. I'm going to address the first part of why you're here. Your attorney, Ms. Sims, has filed a motion to withdraw off your case. She wants to get off your case, okay? And whatever issues you might have, I'm not going to force Ms. Sims to stay on if there's some issues between you and her. So I'm going to grant her request to get off this case. So if you would file your motion to withdraw on the MRP, I'll sign both of them. I do see that you did on one of them, but you didn't do on the other one.
I'll file that today.
So go ahead and file that and I'll grant your request and I'll allow you to withdraw from that case, or both cases. Now, as far as I'm concerned with Ms. Bailey, you are excused, Ms. Sims. So go ahead and take care of your other case. And then I'll speak to Ms. Bailey about another attorney, okay? Thank you. Ms. Bailey, you no longer have an attorney, so there's two options regarding a lawyer. I can reschedule you to have an opportunity for you to hire another lawyer, or you want me to appoint you one? I will appoint you an attorney on 2 cases. Now, before I do that, there's one other thing that I need to address. Millie. Oh, I'm sorry. Whenever you finish, I'm ready. I do see that you are charged with driving while intoxicated. You're on probation for DWI. You picked up another driving while intoxicated. You are on bond conditions on your driving while intoxicated, in which you have to blow on an interlock device. Okay. And I see that when you blew on your interlock device this last time on May the 3rd, it tested positive for alcohol on your breath. Okay. Now, don't have to say anything, but are you aware that you have to blow again? Every time that your machine. I'm sorry, was that?
I thought like if it's your big bill, just like thing of this, I reached out to my.
Blow again. Now, here's the deal. That machine tests for your breath and it tests for alcohol, but it cannot distinguish alcohol from an alcoholic beverage or alcohol from something else like medicine. Okay. So it can't tell the difference. So we require you to blow 3 more times after the first time that indicates a positive test for alcohol. And the reason we do that is to make sure it's not something else. Now, what I see here is the amount that you blew is a small amount. That leads me to believe it's possibly not alcohol, but we don't know because you didn't blow again. If you would have blown again, and then the second or third time that you blew, if I noticed that it went down, we can probably say, nope, that wasn't alcohol. That was something else. Okay. So I need for you to understand, Miss Bailey, every time you blow, if it indicates a beep, possible, you need to blow 3 more times after that. You have to wait 5 minutes each time. You blow, wait 5 minutes, blow again, wait 5 minutes, blow again. 3 times, remember, because otherwise, we don't know. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention. Secondly, I see for a period of 1 month between April 4th to May 7th, there was 23 times that you did not blow on your machine. Okay, yes, ma'am.
Yes, Judge. I see that she told her trial stating that since she is on probation for the other case, that she thought she wasn't supposed to use the other device. And so she kept blowing on the one that she got under probation, and she thought that pretrial would have access to those files, but we don't. So the case manager told her, admonished her about having to use both devices in that case.
Did she have an interlock in her car and a probation?
Portable.
So she got portable on the probation, portable on this, but the same machine, right? It's the same one?
Right, they, like at first I was in sober court, so like with the device, I went back to Lifesaver, and when I got that device, they didn't have pre-trial, so I had to file for reporting.
I know.
And then-
You only have one device though, right?
Yeah. I only
Okay.
have one.
All right, so here's the problem. Unfortunately, you fell in one of those cracks that's kind of like that we can't fix. You've got probation conditions and you have bond conditions. They're separate. One doesn't have to do with the other. There's 2 separate things. Okay. So I understand that when you are on probation, they tell you one thing, but that's for that probation. So just to be on the safe side, if you blow and it takes positive, blow again. Don't worry about it. Just blow it again. Okay. And hopefully you'll be okay. Now we're gonna appoint you a lawyer on both cases. Okay. And then make sure, because I don't want to see another report. Is your machine working now? Okay, no, I'll just make sure it's working and you haven't had.
Lifesaver.
Okay. And have you had any problems blowing during the time periods that you're supposed to blow?
No,
Okay, because you have to blow 3 times a day.
they had it like for 4.
4, okay, well, just make sure you blow every time during that period, okay? All right, any questions, Miss Bailey? You don't need to see her, right, Miss?
No, you're
Okay, all right, just have a seat. I'll appoint you a lawyer. Millie,
Yes, Judge.
page 1 and 2, Bailey, court appoint, 2 cases.
Thank you.
Okay, yes, sir, come on up.
Thanks, Judge.
For you.
Well, that's the reason I'm here.
Because you're doing great, right?
Another case, another court. This case is on your docket tomorrow is a DWI. And it's the only, and it's set just because there was a bond violation. As I understand.
I need a case number.
It's 253-9185. He blew unusually high blow and then, as I understand it, he passed it a short time thereafter. So I checked with the lady here, said, look, I need to check with the case manager first.
I do see interlock. I do see that he had a high breath on the interlock on May the 2nd.
Exactly.
And then let's see, May 2nd was a Friday, but I don't see that he blew again. Okay.
It is set, he has to be here. And it's set to be for tomorrow. I would ask. I need a week, yes, next week. I started yesterday. My heart is going like I was running a 100-yard dash.
Oh, okay.
And that's never happened before. I need to, of course, I've never been 78 before. So I've got to go deal with that.
No worries. All right, let's do this. Do you have contact with your client?
Yes, I can.
Can he be here next week?
He can be here next week.
And what day?
Here alone.
No, I know. I like for you to be present also.
Oh.
What day next week are you available?
I am.
What day next week?
I'm still among the living.
Well, I hope so. What day are you available next week?
Week, you name it, Judge.
I mean, I'm gonna be here every day next week. Between Monday and Thursday.
So you just got appointed to.
Because we can't do Fridays. Okay. Let's just,
That's
let's do,
it's the week of the 19th.
it's the week of the 19th.
Yes, sir, May 19th to the 22nd.
Let's do Wednesday.
21st, okay.
First.
So get with my coordinator,
Okay.
give her the case number, and tell her to off docket it till May 21st.
I'll do it, Judge.
You got it.
Thank you very much.
Ms. Siegler, were you able to talk to that complaining witness?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, let's see, you want to continue the case? Because it's set on the docket for today. Do you need to get with the state with, is it Ms. Pybus to let her know?
Yes, sir, and I spoke with her, but she was still thinking about what
All
offer.
right, let's reset it. We'll reset it. Okay, thanks. But you have her notes there where she can see, right?
Yes.
Okay, thanks. Okay.
Approach.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
On Sweeney's. Okay.
My son.
Yes.
Jail though?
Yes.
You ordered.
Oh, that's right.
No contact?
Yeah, let me see.
No firearms, no.
Okay, yeah, no contact with the complaining witness and no weapons and firearms. Let me see, I think he's 18
So no.
and also no alcohol and controlled substances.
Okay.
Thanks. Thank you. And Nancy, there is on Bailey on page 2 on her DWI second, there is also a motion to withdraw. If you can put that one on my, oh, it is, thanks. Because she filed 2 of them. She filed this one. Yeah. Okay, let's see if I need to talk to anybody else. Joseph Franklin? Yes, ma'am, Mr. Ray, you need approach?
I do, Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am.
I got a good one this time.
Oh, okay.
A real one. Anthony Harris, I just received him.
What's the last name?
Harris.
In custody?
Last name, yes.
Apparently he was bond forfeited on the 9th for not being present, and he was actually in medical at the jail.
Oh, I see. Let me look at it.
So he's got a good excuse.
That is a good excuse.
I get one.
Well, you 1 for 1. That's not bad. That's not
It's a
bad.
better argument than my last one, but I'll take what I could get.
All right. So did he get detained again for some reason? I guess he got rearrested again.
My understanding was just that there was that bond forfeiture from the 9th, Your Honor. Beyond that, you're already ahead of me.
Yeah. Let me look at it real quick.
All right.
Oh, this is the only case he's got.
He seems eager. He said he just got out of state jail, so he's kind of eager to resolve.
All right, so he bond forfeited in 2022 though, right? That's what I see, 2022
On the same case?
on this case. Yeah.
He was spent in state jail, Your Honor, in Paris, Texas. So that the only thing I can think of is that he was still in custody back then. We just didn't have a hold on him. He's telling me he's been in custody for some time now, and then he just got out of state jail when he got picked up on this, probably an open warrant, because they didn't put a hold on him in state jail for this case.
Well, I see a 2021 conviction for possession of a controlled substance where he did 2 years.
That's probably what he's referring to.
But that would have been over with by the time that he got arrested on this charge. So he was free when he got arrested on this charge, March of 2022. So he was not at TDC. He might have been on parole, but he wasn't detained. And then he got released on this charge on March 15th of 2022. And he was requested to come to court March 22nd of 2022, which he did. Then we rescheduled this case so he can get a lawyer to May the 9th of 2022. And May the 9th is when he bond forfeited.
And it doesn't show what he was in custody for prior to,
Doesn't say
okay.
he was in custody. Then it looks like he got detained again in May. Looks like possibly May 9th.
Okay, so he was in custody on May 9th then, but for something else.
Yes, I'm assuming it's either this case or something else, but I don't know. Unless he had something else pending, but I don't see anything else pending. So probably what happened is somehow or another, he got the attention of law enforcement. They found the warrant and said, let's go. He took him in.
He has what he's reporting to me, Your Honor, is that he has a heart pump and he has the device on him, that he was in medical getting that installed on the 9th. So I'm not.
Oh, he was here on the 9th, but he bond forfeited in 2022.
Okay.
So, he
My
didn't
apologies.
show up.
I thought the law forfeiture was from the.
No, that was 2 years ago, actually 3 years ago that he bond forfeited. So he's been out free for 3 years until he got the attention of law enforcement and they
Gotcha.
put him back in. So I do see that he did go before the magistrate. He does have a bond. And don't know if he can make it, but he does have a bond.
Okay, let me go check in with him and see. I guess I'll speak with the state too and see if he had a hold during any of that time.
Okay. All right. And then just let me know.
He's been in and out.
Oh, I'll be around.
So will I, Judge.
Okay. Thanks. Okay.
I will just, let me let you know, it's like he's been in and out.
And the Siegler. Also, I sent you an email about a non-disclosure.
Yes, sir, unopposed.
Okay. James Hawthorne, are you here? You know, Mr. Hawthorne? Come on up. I tell you, I keep forgetting about you. I apologize. What's going on with your license?
Got a payment plan.
Okay.
But they just sent me like 3 days ago, they just sent me and said I had 2 more owes.
Oh, God. Really? Did they tell you how much?
I gotta figure out what that's about.
They didn't tell you what it was?
They told me because I had criminal and misdemeanor, they said it might be from another, like a substation. I think like the.
Oh, God. Do you think it's tickets?
Yes, I know it's tickets.
It's money.
Yes.
Oh, God. Okay. So, all right. So do you want me to just give you another date?
Yes, sir.
All right. I don't mind giving you another date. I know, but do you think that you can pay them? You think you can pay all? Because that's a lot.
I have to.
Okay. All right. Tell you what, no worries. Have a seat. We'll reset your case. Page 7, Hawthorne, he's pro se. Let's reset him again. Let's give him at least a month or so. He's trying to get his license.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Let me talk to him. Yeah. We're gonna reset it. Because the state, I don't know what they're gonna do in that case, but we're gonna reset that case. I gotta talk to his son and tell him we're resetting it, and they may or may not dismiss it. We'll see. So, let me see, yes. On Martinez, we're gonna reset. That's the one, she's in ICE custody. It's on page 12. Yeah. And I'm gonna tell his son,
We can't transfer
we're
straight.
gonna reset it for a month. Can you give him a copy, the son?
Yes, and would you like a bond forfeiture or
No,
something?
no.
No, just.
What, SFBF, I guess, I don't know, what do you want to do?
Yes, again.
Let's just set him for a arraignment.
Okay, we'll continue with the
Nice
arraignment.
man. Jonathan Martinez, just stay right there. We're gonna reset your mom's case. In a minute, they're gonna call you up with the date, okay? And then, like I said, just see if you can get the hold of a lawyer and just let them know if they can come, they can zoom in. And I just need to know what's going on. Okay. Okay, I appreciate it. So just hang tight. We'll get you out of here in a minute. Yes, ma'am.
Page 17 for Neil. He's not mine, but he says he needs more time to hide. Do you still want to talk to him or do you want me to do it?
Oh, no, you can reset.
Okay.
Let's see. Thanks. Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry.
The plot thickens.
Oh, yeah. The plot thickens. Yes, ma'am. Miss Anthony.
Judge, so on Mr. Harris, Antheus Harris, it does look like from 2022 to 2025, it seemed like he was in custody
Oh, yeah?
in Anahuac.
Oh, Anahuac.
He referred to it as Paris. I don't know what that area is, so I'm
Chambers County, yes, I'm not
Chambers County.
sure where that is.
Chambers County. You been to Chambers County?
only once, Judge. I never went back.
That's a long drive.
It is long.
It is a long drive.
146 and kept going until I couldn't, there's like a stop sign 50 miles.
It's like I-10 east and you keep going and then you take the exit, whatever exit that is, and then you go south another 100 miles or something like that. I mean, it's a long ways. I know. I hear
But
you.
the good news is he couldn't show up.
All right, so let me look at it and I can probably reinstate his bond. Let me see. All right, so Nancy, page 27, Harris, and this is Antheus Harris. Let's reinstate his bond.
Okay.
Now, I need to give him bond conditions though.
Oh.
No. Apparently there's a complaining witness.
They haven't mailed you the call yet, Judge.
But just I have to believe he doesn't know who they are, your client. I have to believe they don't.
Based on the case.
So just tell him no contact with the complaining witness.
Okay.
Oh, this happened at the rodeo?
Yes, it looks like the complainant might have been a security officer.
At the rodeo?
What happened at the rodeo stays at the rodeo, Judge.
Just no contact with the complaining witnesses.
Just saying.
And no weapons. I know. So Ms. Garcia,
Yes, Your Honor.
Harris on page 27, Antheus Harris,
Yes,
no contact with the complaining witness, and then no weapons.
yes, Your Honor.
That's it.
Can't go to the rodeo.
Nah, I'm not gonna do that. Just tell him to behave. 44 years old, so.
Not everybody grows up at the same rate,
Oh,
Judge.
I hear you. All right, you got it. And then just tell Millie that he'll be released, or just say he'll be released and we'll reset him. Okay, you got it. Hey, that's a win. How about
One
that?
out of 3 is not bad, Judge.
No, not at all. Yes, sir. Morning.
Marisa Esparza.
Esparza, okay. Now I've spoken to Esparza already. Have you spoken to her?
Yes, I've spoken.
Okay.
I was just wondering if the board would be open to hearing phone calls again. So like,
Yeah, in fact, I think this was it was kind of iffy. I don't mind hearing probable cause. So Miss Anthony
Yes,
Esparza,
yes.
let me hear PC. Now, let me just preface this. I don't know if you saw the report or anything. Allegedly, she was going to be detained and arrested for PI.
after she was escorted from the bar, that she voluntarily left.
Well, but they were going to arrest her for PI. That's what I heard.
Didn't see any facts that were kind of articulating the fact how alone she was, why that was necessary.
I mean, was this Pasadena PD? No,
It's
HPD.
HPD.
Okay, so let's hear PC on this one.
Yes, Judge, and I can read directly from the DIM.
Okay.
On Sunday, May 4th, 2025 at 1:38 a.m., officer was dispatched to a disturbance at a bar in Harris County, Texas. Officer arrived at the bar and located the defendant at a bar by the name of Hugh O'Connor. Manager pointed the defendant out to officer, identifying her. Officer instructed defendant that the owners of the bar needed her to leave the establishment. Officer escorted the defendant outside of the bar to further continue a public intoxication investigation. As officer was trying to gather the defendant's information, such as name, date of birth, driver's license, defendant refused multiple times to identify herself. Officer was conducting a public intoxication investigation to transport the defendant to the sobriety center. In order to book the defendant into the sobriety center, defendant must be identified with a name and date of birth. Officer tried multiple times to retrieve identifying information and was refused on every attempt.
Articulate that the defendant's level of intoxication was the level of needing to arrest her and take her to the center.
Well, they weren't going to arrest her. I'm very familiar with that center. I don't know if you're familiar with that center at all. Okay, so here's what happens.
I understand things.
What's that?
You get taken there, You sober up.
Exactly. It's a center and it's located downtown. And what they usually do is they transport individuals that they believe are intoxicated so they could sober up. But it requires them to be detained. It's like they're arrested. They're handcuffed. They're physically handcuffed. They're placed in the backseat of a patrol car. They are, in essence, kind of like almost booked in, but not necessarily booked in. They check their records, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then when they get to the intoxication center, they have to have all that information to be inputted. So all of that's inputted into the intoxication center. And then they have a place for males and females separated. And so the males go in one place, females go another place, and they have cots there. And they basically said, there's a cot, there's a blanket, there's a pillow, go, get sober. And then they check on them. And then when they believe that someone has sobered up, is good to go, they'll say, okay, you're released. And then they kind of do like a discharge. So all of that requires, yeah, exactly, identification and all of that, yes.
And kind of my feeling that, you know, without any reason to actually arrest her.
Well, she wasn't going to be arrested, I know.
Another thing, she didn't give her name, so does she necessarily have to give the name?
Yes, she does. Yes, because they have to, it's basically they have to book her into the intox. I know you've never been there. I've been there. It's kind of actually good. It keeps people from getting arrested and charged with. Yeah. And sometimes they'll arrest someone that they might think was driving while intoxicated, but can't really prove it. And so they send them over there too. So, I mean, I'll be honest with you, it's a really good program. Yeah. And if you go there on Friday or Saturday night, it's packed.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. I don't know if you've ever been there in San Antonio.
I have not.
You ought to go. It's downtown. It's just very interesting. And I mean, it's air conditioned. It's a good thing, you know. And so, yeah, so unfortunately, because she failed to provide that information, I'm going to continue with PC. Get with the state. I'm sure that we can work it out. They'll work it out easily. It's her first offense. Has never been arrested before. I'm sure that they'll probably give you some type of PTI or something. Okay. All right. Don't worry. You got it.
All right, so we need to do
Yes,
a
sir.
conclusion, they've been.
No, it's been established.
All
Mhm.
right, so enough, really, maybe.
All right. Yes, sir. Thank you. Yes, sir. Good morning. What you got, sir?
Mr. Fulton, FUL.
All right. Let me see here, Mr. Fulton. See what's happening with Mr. Fulton.
Yes. Not going.
You got a lot going on. Is he in custody? All right. Let me see here. Okay. All right. He's got 1, 2, 3 cases. Yep. Mischief, assault, terroristic threat,
Yes.
and a felony.
I think it's 4 pending felonies also.
Oh, God. He sure does. Boy.
So the guys came from all the cases.
All right, so it looks like he got arrested for a new charge of evading in the 232nd. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's on bond for assault, on bond for criminal mischief, and on bond for terroristic threat. And then his criminal mischief is fairly new because it was a 2B warrant. And, oh yeah, you're right. But he got the attention of law enforcement because of the evading. So he got charged with evading, and once he got charged for the evading, they found these 2B warrants.
Yep.
Oh, including another evading too. He had a 2B warrant for evading.
There's a lot going on.
Oh my God. All right, let me see, check. The BVR that he's under is, let's see, it's I think it's the assault one.
Yeah.
I just need to check the date that he was given these bond conditions. Okay, he was given bond conditions February 7th. And so the other cases occurred after he was given bond conditions.
I hope so.
All right, well, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to revoke Mr. Fulton's bond on the assault. And then just reset his other cases because he's got two $5,000 bonds on the mischief and terroristic threat, and he doesn't have any bonds on his felony yet because he hasn't gone to court. All right, just take all three of them, or reset all three. I'm gonna revoke his assault bond. Assault bond, and then I'm assuming he won't be able to bond out. All right.
Let's do what we can.
I know, just reset them. You're good to go. Thank you. You're welcome.
Okay, all right, thank you.
With the letter and place the content.
If you keep resetting for another month or two, I was just not here, that's not a great. I told you. But right. It's still the sweetest.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. What? By anyone? Okay.
But it's usually when that happens, then we get from like there was a probable cause or for some reason they didn't sign it.
Okay.
Would you like to sign it or?
So what is it now? It's a 2B?
Yes, it's a complaint to be, it's in our queue, but the hearing officer didn't want.
Yeah, that's what I say, like,
All right, put it on my queue. I'll look at it and then I'll decide. That's on Singleton?
Yes.
I saw that. I see that. I'll decide, whether to sign it or not.
Yes.
All right, thanks.
And then also, even if she doesn't know it, will you remember that one? It's the motion for retrial one.
Oh, is that the one that Marcus Fleming?
Yes.
Oh.
He filed his motion for retrial, but
Okay.
he hasn't approached, so I'm not sure we want him to.
Yeah, put it on my queue, but he needs to approach so I can give him a date.
So I just wanted to double check on this.
I'm not sure. I'm assuming he's gonna be here sometime this week or whatever.
You haven't had anyone.
I mean, I'm gonna grant it, but he still needs to approach.
I'm gonna give you the.
So, and then for the motion for the withdrawal, with more consistent, but one, instead of seriously or just doing regular.
Just the regular. I don't need the one with the hearing date. Just the regular one, but I do need for him to come so we can give him a date.
Yeah. And the offer is one.
271.
Right.
Just like the worst.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
18 weeks?
It's like 7.
Do you know what they talk about?
You go to the check. Yeah.
It's like a cycle of violence again.
Yeah. You can self-refer. People.
I signed everything.
You can socialize everything, but it's not this email you directly the attorney.
That happened to me a few times last year.
Yeah, and then like, no PTIs. I'm getting required because it is your mom.
Yeah.
And she was today.
Oh.
You can still try to throw away.
Yeah.
How do y'all do it? It's like an application.
Yeah.
They never gets looked at.
It never gets.
All right, thank you.
It never gets.
Okay.
Then he started going to.
Millie?